पौराणिक निरंजन यानी आज के आलमों के तट पर अवस्थित विष्णु पर भगवान विष्णु के इन श्री चरणों से जल की रचना सृष्टि के
very good morning to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Your presence is really very important for us. It's my humble request to everyone, kindly be seated. आप सभी से मेरा विनम्र निवेदन है कि यथास्थान बैठ जाएं।
हर घर जल योजना की सफलता जिसके तहत 1 करोड़ नल का लक्ष्य हासिल करते हुए स्वच्छ पेयजल की धार अब आखिरी कतार तक पहुंच गई है।
उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर घर घर नल की योजना में 1 करोड़ परिवारों को हर घर नल की।
It's my humble request to everyone present in the house, kindly be seated.
जहाँ तपते सूरज से जमीन पर फटी ये दरारें परछाइयों को निगलती इंसानी वजूद को चुनौती देती है। यहाँ बारिश की आस और पानी की तलाश की कहानी पीढ़ियों पुरानी है।
हेलो
A very warm and gentle welcome to all the honorable guests present in the house today. I am Nisha, would be your host for today's event. आए हुए सभी गणमान्य अतिथियों का हम हार्दिक स्वागत करते हैं, हृदय की गहराइयों से अभिनंदन करना चाहते हैं। मैं स्वागत करना चाहूंगी डायरेक्टर NJJM श्री प्रदीप सिंह जी का। एक बार जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत एवं अभिनंदन। मैं स्वागत करना चाहूंगी प्रोफेसर इंदिरा सेन जी का IIT कानपुर से। एक बार जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत एवं अभिनंदन। स्वागत करेंगे प्रोफेसर प्रियंका बगादे जी का। एक बार जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत एवं अभिनंदन। स्वागत करेंगे प्रोफेसर अमित मित्रा जी का IIT कानपुर से। एक बार जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत एवं अभिनंदन। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed further, let me briefly tell you the purpose and agenda of this workshop on operation and maintenance of water supply schemes. जल जीवन मिशन के तहत माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के मार्गदर्शन एवं प्रदेश के कर्मठ मुख्यमंत्री श्री योगी आदित्यनाथ जी के नेतृत्व में उत्तर प्रदेश के ग्रामीण इलाकों में हर घर तक नल से जल की आपूर्ति सुनिश्चित की जा रही है। विंध्य और बुंदेलखंड क्षेत्र के अधिकतम गांव तक जलापूर्ति शुरू हो गई है। जलापूर्ति के सुचारू संचालन एवं देखरेख भविष्य में किस तरह से की जाएगी, इसको लेकर आज इस विषय पर हमारे प्रमुख सचिव श्री अनुराग श्रीवास्तव जी की अध्यक्षता में इस कार्यशाला का आयोजन किया गया है। कार्यशाला में उपस्थित सभी गणमान्य अतिथियों का हम एक बार फिर से स्वागत एवं अभिनंदन करते हैं। साथ ही साथ हम अपने मीडिया टीम का भी स्वागत एवं अभिनंदन करते हैं। मैं चाहती हूँ कि एक बार तालियों के साथ हम अपने कार्यक्रम का आगाज करेंगे। जल्द ही हमारे बीच में प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी नमामि गंगे एंड रूरल वाटर सप्लाई श्री अनुराग श्रीवास्तव जी आने वाले हैं। तब हम अपने कार्यक्रम का शुरुआत औपचारिक रूप से करेंगे। तब तक मैं विनम्र निवेदन करना चाहती हूँ डायरेक्टर NGGM श्री प्रदीप सिंह जी से कि वे प्रेजेंटेशन के माध्यम से इस कार्यक्रम की
सर तो समय है ना
A big round of applause, please.
So, very good morning to all. Professor Mitra, Professor Predictive, Professor Priya, and all the senior officers, and most importantly, all the agencies that have joined. All the agencies that have joined today to assure for the single purpose of assuring safe water to all our rural households. Hello. Maybe I will use this mic. नहीं कट रही मैं बैठ के बोलूँ तो इज इट ऑल राइट थैंक यू So friends, before Principal Secretary Sir joins, I think today we have very unique opportunity also because not often we see the academia and the field practitioner joining hand together. I am really very thankful to Professor Mitra who is also JGM Professor Chair, and he has agreed to conduct this workshop and actually take forward this agenda of assuring water supply to our rural households. Sir, as we know in UP, most of the schemes are based on groundwater, and in most of the schemes that are based on groundwater, we have solar water supply. So in one way, it also presents a huge opportunity that we should be able to create a system that is independent of grid, and yet it is able to function well and provide minimum 55 litre per capita per day to all the rural households. And since the nature of power supply is intermittent, so it will bring in its own challenges. Some considerations have been taken care in design itself, but lot more will be required, and I think we will learn when we do it. And today we will share some of the experiences that agencies have. To just have why this workshop, we thought that we should conduct at this point of time. We have crossed almost 63% in Uttar Pradesh in terms of tap water connections, and many villages, more than around 15,000 villages are 100% Har Ghar Jal. So we have now sizable number of villages which have started getting tap water supply, which are in we can say in an O&M phase. So early learnings and early understanding of the issue and early benchmarking of what standards we want and how we should organize ourselves will help all the agencies also, because there are diverse set of agencies, and it will also help to finally come out with a concrete plan which more or less everybody can follow. Of course, they will be able to do their own local adjustment, whatever is required. So I have made some 10-15 slides for each of you. These are in terms of what at a Government of India level we think, and with our limited experience, that these should be there in the any good management plan. And if we have these things fixed, more or less, we should be able to assure the tap water supply. So first and foremost is when we complete the water supply scheme in any village, there should be a clear plan with agency about how the roles and responsibility will now be delineated. Under JGM guidelines, we are saying that community should participate in operation and maintenance as well. However, our contracts provide that the agencies will be doing the water supply management, operations and management for next 10 years. So that means that there is a mandated opportunity to work with the community. English में ठीक है या हिंदी में मुझे बोलना अच्छा रहेगा, क्योंकि मेरी मातृभाषा हिंदी है, मुझे हिंदी में बोलने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Just that स्लाइड्स हमारी थी और प्रोफेसर लोग आए थे तो अपने आप इंग्लिश आ गई मेरे पास. But otherwise there is no problem. Is it all right? Yes. हाँ, पीछे से सब लोग ठीक. And I know that we have agency representation from across the country, so maybe this language may be more useful. So I was saying that whenever we complete the pipe water supply scheme any village, the close coordination and information sharing with the community is the key for any regular operation and maintenance that we envisage in the future. We should sit together with Sarpanch, we should sit together with the Pani Samitis, or at least people from each mohalla that who are getting water. In our case, we know that a typical tube well is serving 4 or 5 villages, and in each village there will be 2 or 3 mohallas also. So we should have representation in terms of zones. Suppose a village is one zone, so one person at least from that zone should be represented. And when we should discuss, we should first explain how we have designed the water supply. They should feel confident that yes, good investment has been done. They should talk good about that yes, good work has also been done. The material, I know that you're using a lot of standard materials, lot of innovation has gone into those things. You should inform people. Why we should keep that information to ourselves and only share in seminars and all that. It should be shared with the community. People should say कि देखो साहब ये जो टंकी बनी है ये एक ही महीने में बन गई. नॉर्मली 6 महीने में बनती है, 1 महीने में बन गई. या सीमेंट कंक्रीट की जगह पे हमने GI शीट्स लगाई जो हमारा 15 दिन में ही तैयार हो गया. So whatever innovations that we have done, it should be put it in a way that it becomes a common knowledge and people should feel confident and good about it, है ना? So then only the goodwill will be generated. Otherwise they will say कि नहीं बड़ी एजेंसी आ गई हैं और you will not have any cadre that will appreciate you. So that is the first step, that we should be willing to share our information. Second, once we tell them about the scheme, we also give them as-built drawing and things like that. Whatever pipeline network etc. there should be made in a format. In fact, we have said that it should be painted on a wall, prominent wall in a village, so that everybody knows. Future people also know. The local pump operator will also know, and your headache will also be less if people know more and are able to solve problem locally. So share all those information that you have put all the efforts during the commissioning of this scheme. After that, identify 10-15 components that are critical for water supply. So that identification of operations. Who will do the पहले ताला कौन खोलेगा, पंप हाउस की चाबी किसके पास होगी. From that level also you should be very clear. In fact, handing over ceremony should involve कि भाई ये आप पंप ऑपरेटर को हमने ये चाबी दे दी, अब ये कल से स्विच ऑन स्विच ऑफ करेगा. और अगर ये एजेंसी के पास रखने का है, that is also fine. तो एजेंसी ले ले वो चाबी कि भाई एजेंसी आएगी और एजेंसी का ये आदमी हमारा ताला खोलेगा, ताला बंद करेगा. कंपाउंड है हमारे पास, तो कंपाउंड की रखरखाव कौन करेगा. क्लोरीनेटर सिस्टम है तो उसका जो रिएजेंट है उसके लाने की रिस्पांसिबिलिटी किसकी रहेगी, डालने की रिस्पांसिबिलिटी किसकी रहेगी, और उसको वो चल रहा है नहीं चल रहा है कंप्लेन करने की किसकी रिस्पांसिबिलिटी रहेगी. एंड इट कुड बी ओनली वन पर्सन, कि एक ही आदमी ये सारा काम कर ले. मोटर स्विच ऑन स्विच ऑफ करना है, सोलर पैनल लगे हैं तो उसको साफ करना है. इफ इट इज अ मल्टी विलेज स्कीम तो वॉल खोलना है, वॉल बंद करना है. तो ऑल दीज स्मॉल डिटेल्स, and it will vary for each village, but more or less the structure 95% things will be common, only 5% things will be different. So this again should be discussed, and whatever the manpower that is deployed by the agency, that should be told कि ये इसके लिए deployed है and he is the coordinating officer, so that पानी समिति के जो सरपंच हैं और जो मोहल्ले के लोग हैं उनको भी confidence रहे. And if it is handed over, then they should be the agency should be able to call and make sure that things are happening. So identify all the components of the operation, designate these responsibilities, and then I would say that a proper ceremony should be conducted. हमारे जब whenever we complete the 100%, under the guidelines we have provided a platform where ग्राम सभा is held. तो ग्राम सभा के साथ इसको मैच भी कर सकते हैं कि जैसे ही हमारा हर घर जल हो गया तो साथ में ओएनएम का भी ये सब डिटेल्स हो जाए और ग्राम सभा में ये सब डिटेल्स भी चर्चा हो जाए. हालांकि कुछ चीजें ऑलरेडी उसमें है मैंडेटेड कि पंप ऑपरेटर कौन होगा, किसको संपर्क किया जाएगा इन केस ऑफ ब्रेकडाउन एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट. तो उसको थोड़ा और एक्सटेंड कर दीजिए और कंडक्ट अ सेपरेट सेरेमनी स्पेसिफिकली फॉर हैंडिंग ओवर एंड इन्फॉर्मिंग द कमिटी दैट यस now operation and maintenance phase has started and this is how it will be done. It will build lot of trust in the committee, goodwill आएगा, न्यूज़पेपर आइटम बनना चाहिए कि भाई आज 5 गांव का पानी सप्लाई का स्कीम चालू हो गया, ग्राम सभा या पंचायत में बैठक हुई जिसमें ये सब डिटेल में चर्चा हुई और इस तरह से पब्लिकली इन्फॉर्म होना चाहिए. एंड इट शुड बी पार्ट ऑफ ट्वीट, इट शुड बी पार्ट ऑफ सोशल मीडिया. हर जगह हम लोग करते हैं जिस तरह से हम हर घर जल सर्टिफिकेशन का कर रहे हैं. So if we have this kind of transparency and trust, of course there will be various kind of experiences that you will have. I have also worked in field, so I know. Those obstacles will be, let's say, out of basket of 100, those things will be 10-20%. तो 10-20% के बदले में हम 80% का काम नहीं करते हैं. तो 80 हम करें जहाँ पे स्मूथ चल रहा है, जहाँ पे स्मूथ नहीं चल रहा है, then we have very good system of administration in Uttar Pradesh and they know how to get the work done and they will provide your necessary help and we will come over those difficulties as well. Yeah. This I think you will cover in your slides also, but just for the sake of bringing everybody on same page, clear-cut schedule for preventive and regular maintenance should be there. Equipments that are provided for sensing and measuring, they should be calibrated. Spare part inventories, chemical, etc. should be assured, informed. There should not be any attempt to create savings out of not providing such important spares and chemicals. Periodic cleaning of OSD. This is the most important thing. For every village, we are investing about 3 crores, 1 to 3 crores rupees in pipe water supply in every panchayat. And if we are not able to clean our storage structures, not do the proper chlorination, then the whole purpose of safe water gets lost. अभी जो स्टडीज हुई हैं, हमारे नोबेल लॉरिएट हैं माइकल क्रेमर, उन्होंने शेयर किया है कि if you are able to provide the bacteriologically free water, then almost 1.36 lakhs children lives will be saved. Children between the age of 0 to 5, 1.36 lakhs should be able to. कितने सारे परिवारों को हम मदद कर पाएंगे, उनकी दुआएं ले पाएंगे if we are able to do this work. And WHO ने जो एक असेसमेंट किया है सेफ वाटर का ऑन ओवरऑल पॉपुलेशन कि ऑलमोस्ट $100 billion का वर्थ ऑफ सेविंग्स can accrue because of no expenditure towards disease or disease burden that we encounter because of the waterborne diseases only. So these are huge savings, huge impact that society will have if you are able to provide safe water. Providing water is one thing, providing safe water is second thing. The moment we start thinking about providing safe water, we start thinking about supply, we start thinking about its quality. And fortunately in Uttar Pradesh, the chemical contamination is not there in most of the areas except very few areas. We are blessed with very good groundwater. Groundwater by itself is bacteriologically free. There is no bacteria in second aquifer because there is no sunlight. Bacteria don't survive in those locations. And the water that is pumped is safe. But अगर हमारा जो टैंक है वहां पे अगर कंटेमिनेशन क्रिएट हो रहा है, पाइपलाइन में क्रिएट हो रहा है या कंज्यूमर एंड पे उसके स्टोरेज में क्रिएट हो रहा है, then there is problem. So therefore we are saying that if we are having some residual chlorine, it will provide residual effect which will clean your network and which will also clean over your storage at the consumer end as well. So, and what I will assume that in future slowly when people are more aware and we have and this we will also have to do because we are doing intermittent supply. Our supply is intermittent. but with people's cooperation, and if community is willing, the same infrastructure I think can be converted into a 24/7 infrastructure. There is no problem. We have large storage structure. If we are able to assure that there is no leakage from tap, in fact that is much better in terms of operation and maintenance. If there is no leakage from the network, then whenever they are using, they need water, they should use the water. In our homes, we are storing our water. We have 10 tap connections and we have 24/7 tap supply. We ensure that none of the taps leak, and therefore we are getting water whenever we need. The same thing with such investment, if you are able to provide to the community that your water is stored at one place, you don't have to worry, and you don't have to have your own system of storage. Basically, system of storage is basically mistrust कि भाई ये पानी आएगा कि नहीं आएगा, तो स्टोर करके रख लेते हैं. उसके बहुत नुकसान है. नया पानी जब आता है तो पुराना पानी पहले निकाल के फेंकना पड़ता है ना. भाई नया पानी, साफ पानी का देयर इज अ टेंडेंसी कि भाई ये पानी ज्यादा ताजा है, तो फ्रेशनेस की उसकी वैल्यू है. तो अगर लेकिन फ्रेश पानी हमेशा आ रहा है आपके टैप में, देन दैट थिंग विल गो अवे. सो उस पे भी हमें काम करना है, एंड दैट ट्रस्ट शुड कम. एंड अगर हम बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं कह रहे हैं कि आउट ऑफ 1 लाख विलेजेस हम 5000 गांव भी अगर हम कर पाए जो 24/7 है, तो स्लोली 1 साल 2 साल 3 साल में 50,000 हो जाएंगे, 1 लाख हो जाएंगे. एंड कुछ एरिया जहां पे डिफिकल्टी है सप्लाई की, वहां पे हमें फिर भी 24/7 नहीं करना पड़ेगा. तो ये हम कर सकते हैं. इट इज पॉसिबल. एंड ऑफ कोर्स द लॉट ऑफ फैक्टर्स डिपेंड ऑन कम्युनिटी. पहले हम सप्लाई शुरू करेंगे तो बट दिस शुड बी अवर गोल. दैट इज हाउ वी शुड थिंक अबाउट फ्यूचर सप्लाई. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. So one of the most important thing that is available today is sensor-based monitoring of supply. So at least supply part, and you all are aware that at a large, when we are implementing in large villages, large number of villages, about 1 lakh villages, तो 1 लाख गांव में सप्लाई ठीक चल रही नहीं चल रही है. आपके डिस्ट्रिक्ट में आपको जो इलाके मिले हैं 4000 गांव, 10,000 गांव, तो 10,000 गांव में पानी मिल रहा है नहीं मिल रहा है. इसका अगर हम एक जगह डैशबोर्ड पे हमने जो रोल्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी शुरू में डिलीनेट की थी, वो लोग काम कर रहे हैं कि नहीं कर रहे हैं, उसकी अगर हमें डेली रिपोर्ट मिल जाए तो आवर सिस्टम ऑफ मेकिंग श्योर दैट दे परफॉर्म देयर ड्यूटी बिकम्स मच इजियर एंड मच मोर इन्फोर्सिएबल. So that we have to ensure. So why automation? I think this is well understood. I will skip this slide. Next. And these are the components that will be typically there in any IoT system. That there will be source, there will be storage structure, and then there will be a pipeline and storage, and then distribution network. So in our case, normally only treatment we are doing is chlorination, except in certain areas. So these 4 steps or 3 steps are there to will be there in any system that we design. Next slide, please. And this is how the system will look like if we have good. हमने सेंसर भी लगा दिया, क्लाउड भी लगा दिया, एप्लीकेशन भी डेवलप कर लिया, तो किसी गांव की सप्लाई मुझे जाननी है तो आई कैन गो टू द डैशबोर्ड एंड सी दिस. बट आई विल शेयर यू विद एग्जांपल. जो आपके जैसे एक इंजीनियर साहब थे इंदौर में, उन्होंने इनोवेट किया. उन्होंने बिना फ्लो मीटर के, विदाउट एनी फ्लो मीटर, he is able to monitor his supply. He is able to automate his pump operations. I went to a village near Indore. It was a large village. It was almost like an urban area. उसके पास 15 zones थे, मतलब 15 इलाकों में पानी देना होता था. हर दिन वो 2 हफ्ते में वो वहां पे जो पानी देने का उनका सिस्टम था, हर दूसरे या तीसरे दिन वो पानी देते थे. तो 5-5 जोन को एक दिन में वो पानी देते थे, फिर तीसरे दिन पे नंबर आता था. तो लॉट ऑफ वर्क है ना. पंप ऑपरेटर का काम यही रहता है कि इस वाल्व को खोलना, इस वाल्व को बंद करना है, ऑल दैट. सो एंड वहां पे पानी की भी दिक्कत थी कि सफिशिएंट पानी वाज नॉट देयर. तो 3-4 जगहों से पहले वो संप में पानी इकट्ठा करते थे, फिर ओएसटी में डालते थे, एंड देन दे यूज्ड टू डू द सप्लाई. बट हाउ दे अचीव दिस विदाउट फ्लो मीटर, दैट आई वांटेड टू एक्सप्लेन. इट इज वेरी रेलेवेंट फॉर यूपी एंड इट्स वेरी चीप सिस्टम. इट्स वेरी सिंपल सिस्टम. अभी जो हमारे जो किसान हैं, मोबाइल से बैठ करके अपने खेत का पंप ऑन ऑफ कर सकते हैं. मतलब उसमें कोई दे अंडरस्टैंड दिस टेक्नोलॉजी. सिम कार्ड बेस्ड एक वहां पे उन्होंने मोटर के पास वो लगा देते हैं सिस्टम, जो मास्टर डिवाइस कह लेते हैं, और वहां से सिम कार्ड से कम्युनिकेशन हो जाता है, मोटर ऑन हो जाती है, मोटर ऑफ हो जाती है. सुबह 4 बजे उसको चल के नहीं जाना पड़ता है. उसी का ये एक्सटेंडेड सिस्टम है. इसमें व्हाट दे हैव डन, दे हैव पुट 4 लेवल सेंसर्स इन द ओएसटी. ओएसटी का हमें कैपेसिटी पता है. अगर वो सेंसर हमारा चल, एंड वी डोंट नीड वेरी एक्यूरेट इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट सप्लाई, वी ओनली नीड कि कितना पानी है, चल रहा है कि नहीं चल रहा है. तो 4 उन्होंने चार लेवल पे 25, 50, 75, 100 पे 4 सेंसर्स लगा दिए और उसका काम ये था कि जब वो 100% पे होता था तो मोटर बंद हो जाती थी और एक जो मिनिमम 0% जो भी लेवल उन्होंने रखा है उस पर वो मोटर ऑन हो जाती थी। दैट इज द पर्पस ये सेंसर है। तो मोटर ऑन ऑफ का शेड्यूलिंग इससे हो जाता था। वो ये संप वाले जो संप के मोटर्स हैं और संप में जो मोटर सप्लाई करें उसके लिए वो इस तरह से यूज कर लेते थे। और जो ओएसटी में सेंसर्स थे उसका ऑफकोर्स जो पंपिंग मोटर थी जो संप से ओएसटी में चलती थी उसको ऑन ऑफ करने के लिए करते थे, प्लस कैसे उसका डिस्चार्ज कैसे हो रहा है पंप ये विथ टाइम हमारे ओवरहेड टाइम का उसको प्लॉट कर लेते थे कि 100% से 75% आने में 2 घंटा लगा, तो जैसे ही 75% हिट होता था 2 घंटे पता चल जाता था। उसको लीनियरली कर लेते थे, बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड उनका वो नहीं था, सिंपल लीनियर कर्व थे। सो दे वर एबल टू नो हाउ द सप्लाई इज हैपनिंग इन द नेटवर्क, और फिर बेस्ड ऑन कि किस नेटवर्क में पानी जा रहा है वो पता कर लगा लेते थे कि इस गांव में पानी गया है नहीं गया। सो नोइंग द शेड्यूल, राइट शेड्यूल कि किस टाइम पे किस गांव को देना है, इवन इफ देयर आर 5 विलेजेस और 5 को अलग अलग हम वॉल से दे रहे हैं, अगर हर एक वॉल का टाइमिंग फिक्स है तो जो करस्पॉन्डिंग डिस्चार्ज हमारा ओवरहेड टाइम से हुआ हम कह सकते हैं कि उस गांव को वो पानी मिला। तो एटलीस्ट एट विलेज लेवल वी आर एबल टू नो how much is the flow that has happened today, every day, that we can know using this very simple system. I think it is and this is how and they have made a small mobile app also that can be used by the pump operator itself to switch on switch off. अच्छा, उनके केस में क्या था कि they had a issue of dry run also, कि पानी एक्विफर में रात भर में भरता था, फिर मोटर चलती थी तो कई बार नहीं भर पाता था, तो ड्राई रन हो जाता था और मोटर जल जाती थी। तो उस ड्राई रन को भी दे वर एबल टू डिटेक्ट बेस्ड ऑन वोल्टेज एंड करंट जो पंप मोटर ड्रॉ करती थी वो उसके आरटीओ में जो स्विच था उसी के साथ वो लगा देते थे। तो हमारे केस में सीधे सोलर बेस्ड सिस्टम हमारे पास ऑलरेडी वोल्टेज करंट हम वहां पे नाप ही रहे हैं, उसको हम ऑटोमेट कर दें किसी तरह से, और इस अगर कॉमन क्लाउड पे लेके आ जाए तो हम रेगुलरिटी शेड्यूल हमें पता चल जाएगा, कब कितने टाइम मोटर चल रही है ये पता चल जाएगा, एंड बेस्ड ऑन आवर सप्लाई इनपुट्स वी विल एबल टू फाइंड कि किस गांव में कितना पानी गया। सो विदाउट एनी मूविंग पार्ट्स वी हैव अ सिस्टम रेडी व्हिच कैन टेल मी दैट सप्लाई हुई है नहीं हुई है, एंड ऑल्सो टेल मी हाउ माई मोटर इज परफॉर्मिंग, क्या करंट अभी खींच रही है, क्या वोल्टेज खींच रही है, और ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम परफॉर्मेंस बढ़ रही है घट रही है, इसको हमें ग्रीस करना है ठीक करना है। तो प्रिवेंटिव मेंटेनेंस भी मोटर का, क्योंकि मेजर इन्वेस्टमेंट तो मेजर जो वर्किंग पार्ट है वो मोटर है, बाकी तो स्टैटिक चीजें हैं। तो इफ यू आर एबल टू मॉनिटर इट्स हेल्थ देन वी आर एबल टू मॉनिटर द हेल्थ ऑफ द सिस्टम। तो प्रिवेंटिव मेंटेनेंस हम बेस्ड ऑन एक्चुअल डेटा कर पाएंगे विद द वेरी सिंपल सच सिस्टम। ही हैज यूज्ड सिम कार्ड बेस्ड कम्युनिकेशन, हम कुछ और भी सोच सकते हैं, तो आपके पास टीम्स हैं। So the purpose of this workshop also was to share such innovation, and we will learn more from your side when you will present in the next session. Next, second, yeah. Solar, we all know that when we are in solar systems, all these issues are there, and these has to be taken care. So this should be part of the roles and responsibilities. Somebody should be there to take charge of these things. Next, and again, the energy meter that I was talking about, measuring voltage and current, based on that, we should be able to know the performance of our solar system. सफाई हो रही है कि नहीं हो रही है solar system की? Is it because of insulation or is it because of poor maintenance? Those things also we should be able to know by deploying such systems. Next. Now coming to the water quality part, which I touched in the beginning, we have to maintain safe level of chlorine in the network. And the level of chlorine is 0.2 to 1 milligram per liter. That is the range in which chlorine should be there. So how we achieve that? Do we tell कि भाई 100 ग्राम क्लोरीन जब ब्लीचिंग पाउडर जाके टंकी में डाल दो तो हो जाएगा? Will it work or will it not work? In most of your systems you have sophisticated systems जहाँ पे आपने electrochlorinators लगाए हुए हैं, but they also require some agent, some salt has to be added to make sure that chlorine is dosed. But अभी भी whatever systems I have seen, they are not such that they will last long. मतलब या तो मोटर बहुत हिल रही है, प्लास्टिक के डब्बे पे ही हो उनका रेसिप्रोकेटिंग मोटर लगा रखा है, and things like that. So there are still issues. So those things. So one is the system part that you will learn and maybe replace and upgrade those systems. Second, how to ensure that there is a sufficient chlorine in the network. तो अभी that we will cover in the our sessions that हमें the same Michael Kramer team को हमने कहा कि आप हमारे chlorination system को study करिए and tell me how to operationalize this correct doses of chlorine, and we have some inputs, so that also we will share. But most important, so that way we can know how to actually operationalize the correct. We can know the dosage of chlorine after. उसमें होता है कि there is a period of 1 week जहाँ तक हम डोज देते हैं, फिर उसके बाद थोड़ा स्टेबलाइज हो जाता है, then we know कि what is the correct dose. But most importantly, we have to identify the tail end of the household, tail end of the network for each village. जो भी हमारे DMAs बनते हैं, उसका tail end कौन सा है वो आइडेंटिफाई कर लें. उसको अगर वहां पे जाकर के हमारे बंदे को पता हो कि यहाँ पे ही क्लोरीन डोज करके तुम बताओगे, so that he also knows वो कि यहीं पे टेस्ट होगा, और somebody comes and checks, he will check there only, and from there we know that whole of the network is same. So identification of such tail end households is also very important, and that should be part of our handing over plan. Then there are certain responsibilities that are there to the water supplier. Water supplier, you can call yours. In our case, in UP, it will be hybrid kind of thing where some parts are taken care by the Pani Samiti, some part is taken care by the agency. So you both, as a whole, are water supplier. So you have to ensure the testing of source on regular basis in labs. वो हमारा है कि कोई अगर नए contamination ground water में आते हैं, तो we should be able to know from the lab. Therefore, every year at least once chemical contamination के लिए और bacteriological contamination के लिए 2 बार हम लैब में सोर्स का सैंपल देना. बट फॉर डिलीवरी पॉइंट विच विल बी देयर इन ईच हैबिटेशन इन ईच विलेज, उसके लिए हमें वी शुड फाइंड आउट अ थंब रूल कि हर 50 घर में से एक घर हम लेंगे और इस मोहल्ले का ये शेड्यूल रहेगा. दैट शेड्यूल हैज टू बी वर्कड आउट कि उसका हमारा क्या शेड्यूल रहेगा, सो दैट द सेफ्टी ऑफ वाटर सप्लाई नेटवर्क इज ऑल्सो इंश्योर्ड. सो 2 थिंग्स, टेस्टिंग ऑफ वाटर एट डिलीवरी पॉइंट एंड टेस्टिंग ऑफ वाटर एट सोर्स. As a supplier, we have to provide BIS 10,500 water at the delivery point, at the point where water is consumed by the individual. जहाँ तक उसको हमारी, उसके बाद storage की responsibility उस household की है. But till the point till the tap connection point, we have to ensure that BIS 10,500 standard is followed. So how to ensure that? उसका एक schedule करना पड़ेगा. Then schools and हमारे आंगनवाड़ी वहाँ पे हमें testing करना पड़ेगा. अनफॉर्चुनेटली स्कूल्स एंड आंगनवाड़ीज में हमारी जो बैक्टीरियल कंटेमिनेशन है वो बहुत ज्यादा है. अभी एज ऑफ नाउ इट इज टू हाई. वी हैव टू रियली वर्क विद द स्कूल्स एंड वी हैव टू दे हैव देयर ओन सिस्टम्स इन मेनी स्कूल्स, बट मेनी ऑफ देम आर टेकिंग वाटर सप्लाई फ्रॉम आवर नेटवर्क एज वेल. सो इफ दे आर टेकिंग वाटर सप्लाई फ्रॉम आवर नेटवर्क, इट शुड बी आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कि वहां पे भी टेस्टिंग जरूर हो. Various methods of disinfection, so this we will discuss more in the second part. So I'll skip this slide here. This is the examples that I was talking about in your areas. See the मोटर जो लगा रखी है वो टंकी के ऊपर ही लगा रखी है. मोटर जब चलती है टंकी भी हिलती है, लगता है कि इसे टूट जाएगी, मतलब बहुत चलेगी नहीं. So those things are there, but there must be some better practices and we will come to know today. Next. Yes, so this again, I'm just sharing this slide just for the sake that you have this in your mind. But more of it will be discussed in the second half. Next. This again is how the from the Michael Kramer report we have culled out this slide, and this again we will discuss more in the second half. I think this is the last slide. To achieve all these things, we will require a lot of training of manpower and understanding of systems. तो उसमें हमारे जो प्रोफेसर चेयर्स हैं, डेटा एनालिटिक्स में जो हमारे हेल्प चाहिए, जो हमारे इतना सारा क्लाउड से डेटा आएगा, तो उसके लिए हमारे जो IT TA की प्रोफेसर चेयर है, दे कैन बी वेरी यूजफुल. सो आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट कि एजेंसीज को कोई भी इश्यूज आ रहा है, टू एस्टैब्लिश राइट डोज ऑफ क्लोरिनेशन, टू एस्टैब्लिश राइट काइंड ऑफ मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम, प्लीज कॉन्टैक्ट, गेट इन टच विद देम, एंड दिस इज द लेट्स से ice breaking meeting that we are having today, and I will hope that more interactions are done with the IT professor chair, more organically, working on actual issues that are there on the ground. Having a grievance redressal system, I think any supplier who is for any service provider, providing a grievance redressal for consumers is a sign that we are confident about our supply, and it should be available to the citizens. And citizens, if they are able to provide water get clean water. I think that is the achievement that we should be very proud of. And therefore, I think Uttar Pradesh already has such system, and maybe we need to popularize it more and make it more accessible for the people, and maybe become more responsive on this issue. So I think with that I will stop. And so this is what I really wanted to talk, and I'm really thankful that we have come up in large numbers, and the whole day today will spend on designing our future systems of O&M, so that it's not, you should not feel it a burden, you should feel it a blessing that you are able to do it very efficiently. And while doing it in a state like UP, which has very uniform structure, but on a large scale, I think it will bring a lot of laurels to you also. You will be able to present your cases at national and international platforms. You know, this providing this basic service of drinking water is UN sustainable. It is a part of SDG 6 goals, है ना? 6.1 specifically, इसमें access to safe drinking water is monitored, and we have reports that are generated every 2 years. And with this tap water supply, there are 3 major components. One is access on premises, दूसरा sufficiency. Sufficiency का पैरामीटर है कि पानी पिछले 1 महीने 1 हफ्ते में एक बार भी डिसरप्ट ना हुआ हो. So that is sufficient, पानी उसको जब चाहिए तब मिल रहा है. And तीसरा, it should be free from bacteriological contamination, especially E. coli. है ना? H2S oil very dicey, we don't know कि पानी में कोलाई है नहीं है, कई बार नहीं है तो भी होता है तब भी नहीं होता है, तो उसको हमें लैब में ही टेस्ट करने की हमें आदत करनी है. अगर if we come across better system reagents which can test on the field, I think that should be also encouraged. उससे आपको ज़्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा अपनी सप्लाई पे. So if we are able to meet these parameters, then only we will score better. Not only by providing tap water connection that is reflected on our dashboard. That is 1/3 of the story. 1/3 of the story. Rest 2/3 we have to do. Then only we will get up. Because वो क्या करते हैं वो, अगर आपने 100% टैप दे दिया, सफिशिएंसी भी दे दी, लेकिन बैक्टीरियोलॉजिकल पे आपका 66% है, तो आपका स्कोर 66% है. तो जो मिनिमम होता है, that is the score that you get, and therefore we have to work on all these aspects for assuring the tap water supply to our household. So thank you so much.
Huge round of applause for Mr. Pradeep Singh, everyone. He explained it really well. And instructions all clear. Now soon enough, among us, there will be Mr. Anurag Srivastava, IAS. He'll be here soon enough. So let's just all wait for him. Okay? We're waiting for IAS, Mr. Anurag Srivastava.
अच्छा, जब तक सर आते हैं, any questions or any thoughts you would like to share, I think we can utilize that time. Anybody from any of the agencies? Yes, please.
Sir, we are doing similar thing whatever you have.
आप बता दें, अपना नाम बता दें और कहाँ पे काम कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा बताएं, so that context थोड़ा बता दें.
प्रशांत मिश्रा.
बैठ के बोले. हाँ.
I think mic is not working.
कोई बात नहीं, your voice is loud enough.
So I am Prashant Mishra from GA Infra. We are working in Rajasthan. We are working in Gujarat. Now we are working in UP. So in
यूपी में किस जिले
Rajasthan,
में काम कर रहे हैं?
सर हम मिर्जापुर में काम कर रहे हैं, चंदौली में काम कर रहे हैं, आजमगढ़ में काम कर रहे हैं, सहारनपुर में काम कर रहे हैं, भदोही में काम कर रहे हैं, मऊ में काम कर रहे हैं, आजमगढ़ में काम कर रहे हैं और अभी बलिया में काम करने जा रहे हैं. तो हमने सर पिछले 10 सालों में राजस्थान में एग्जैक्टली क्योंकि वहां पर डिसेंट्रलाइज सिस्टम था अभी, और वहां पर ARU FRU के सिस्टम्स लगा करते थे जो काफी स्कैटर्ड हुआ करते थे. उनकी मॉनिटरिंग और उनके ऑपरेशन एंड मैनेजमेंट के लिए सिमिलरली जो टूल्स अभी आपने बताए वैसे ही टूल्स लास्ट 10 ईयर्स से हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं, IoT बेस्ड टूल्स ऑफ कोर्स. और उसकी वजह से सर जो इसके अलावा हमने एक और चीज डेवलप की, जैसे इश्यूज आते हैं, इश्यूज आने के साथ साथ जैसे ओला उबर में इश्यूज आते हैं तो हमारे पास फील्ड जो इंजीनियर्स होते हैं उनके पास अलर्ट मैसेजेस जाते हैं और अलर्ट मैसेजेस से वो पता कर लेते हैं कि कहां पर कौन सा इशू है और उस इशू को वो जाके एड्रेस करते हैं। एड्रेस करने के बाद हमारा जो हेल्पलाइन नंबर है कमांड सेंटर, और हमने हर जगह स्पेयर पार्ट्स के लिए अलग अलग स्टोर्स बना रखे हैं। जैसे तो हम 3 तरह की एनालिसिस उससे कर लेते हैं। एक तो प्रेडिक्टिव एनालिसिस कर लेते हैं। एक प्रेडिक्टिव एनालिसिस हमको ये बता देता है कि किन किन मूवेबल पार्ट, स्पेशली मोटर मूवेबल पार्ट्स में कहां कहां कौन कौन सा इशू हम एनकाउंटर करने वाले हैं, ताकि उसकी वजह से जो भी पंप बर्न होने से पहले ही हमें पता चल जाता है बिकॉज ऑफ दोज एबनॉर्मेलिटीज, और उसकी वजह से हम पंप को वहीं पर ऑटोमेटिकली शट डाउन करने के बाद फिर कोई फील्ड इंजीनियर को असाइन करते हैं, जो भी नियरेस्ट फील्ड इंजीनियर होता है वो जाके वहां पे देखता है। दैट इज प्रेडिक्टिव। टू इज जो भी हमारा प्रेडिक्टिव के अलावा जो भी हमारा प्रिवेंटिव मेंटेनेंस है, वो प्रिवेंटिव मेंटेनेंस तो हम करते ही हैं, सभी लोगों को करना है। तीसरा कंप्लेंट मैनेजमेंट, जैसे हेल्पलाइन नंबर साहब ने बताया, तो सर ने जैसे बताया हेल्पलाइन नंबर से जो भी कंप्लेंट्स आती हैं, चाहे वो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप से आती हों, चाहे वो फोन कॉल के माध्यम से आती हों, या सीएम हेल्पलाइन सीएम पोर्टल से आती हों, वो सारे के सारे हमने कॉल सेंटर वहां पे बना रखा है। उस कॉल सेंटर में वो जाता है, वहां से ऑटोमेटिकली अलर्ट जनरेट होते हैं। अलर्ट सीधे ओला उबर वाली जो स्कीम मैंने बताई है, जैसे उसी से सिमिलर, वहां पर डीएम डिफेक्ट मैनेजमेंट ट्रैकिंग सिस्टम उसको हम बोलते हैं। वो डिफेक्ट मैनेजमेंट ट्रैकिंग सिस्टम में एक अलर्ट जनरेट होता है। जिस साइट का अलर्ट होता है उसके नियरेस्ट जो भी फील्ड इंजीनियर होता है उसको वो टिकट असाइन हो जाता है। So we are doing this thing in Rajasthan, and hopefully we'll be we are trying to do
any of the villages you have completed 100% in UP?
Sir, one village where we have implemented this is in Bhadohi district, Magani. So that.
So you will be sharing in the present कर रहे हैं या आप अपना?
नहीं सर, वो
ठीक है. So we'll discuss that.
Dashboard is there.
So any issues regarding chlorination that you have encountered in villages that you have
Sir,
done
yes.
100%?
So chlorination में जो आपने tail end का बात बताया, so that is something which need to be taken care because कुछ tail end पे जा रहा है, कुछ tail end पे नहीं जा रहा है. So dosing is something where more analytics need to come in. Apart from that, rest whatever you have shared. So in bit and pieces we are doing it, and probably there's a lot more to be done.
Thank you.
Yeah, Pradeep ji, can I ask you?
Yeah.
So you're talking about you're talking about some predictive analysis with your data.
Yes, sir.
Right? What?
हमारे बीच में आ चुके हैं प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी नमामि गंगे एंड रूरल वाटर सप्लाई श्री अनुराग श्रीवास्तव जी। एक बार जोरदार तालियों के साथ।
Hello. Huge round of applause. To everyone. Huge round of applause for you, everyone. And he's here among us now. He is about to do चलिए स्वागत एवं अभिनंदन के साथ हम अपने कार्यक्रम को औपचारिक रूप से शुरू करेंगे। मैं सभी गणमान्य अतिथियों से निवेदन करूंगी कि वे दीप प्रज्वलन कर तथा सांकेतिक जल संचयन कर हमारे इस कार्यक्रम का शुभारंभ करें।
प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी नमामि गंगे एंड रूरल वाटर सप्लाई श्री अनुराग श्रीवास्तव जी को साथ ही साथ बुलाना चाहूंगी डायरेक्टर MPD शुभम करोति कल्याणम आरोग्यम धन संपदा शत्रु बुद्धि विनाशाय दीपकाय नमोस्तुते। दीपो ज्योति परम ब्रह्म दीपो ज्योति जनार्दन दीपो हरतु मे पापम संध्या दीपो नमोस्तुते। जो शुभ करता है, कल्याण करता है, आरोग्य रखता है, धन संपदा देता है और शत्रु बुद्धि का विनाश करता है, ऐसे दीप की रोशनी को मैं नमन करता हूँ। परम पिता परमेश्वर की कामना मनोकामना करते हुए उनको मनाते हुए अपने कार्यक्रम का शुभारंभ। मैं आप सभी से अनुरोध करूंगी कि सांकेतिक जल संचयन द्वारा कार्यक्रम का आरंभ करें।
जल संचयन होना कलश में जल डालना सर इसमें कलश
ठीक है।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। Thank you so much. I would request everyone kindly be seated. आप सभी गणमान्य अतिथियों से एवं सभी अतिथियों से निवेदन है कि यथास्थान पर
आनंदिया ये कैमरा इस पे इस ट्राइपॉड पे सेट कर दीजिए, क्योंकि जब तक हम दौड़ेंगे लाइव मिलेगा।
आगे लगेगा पीछे
जी वाले नीचे कर दीजिए।
कार्यक्रम के क्रम को आगे आते हुए मैं आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगी प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी नमामि गंगे एंड रूरल वाटर सप्लाई श्री अनुराग श्रीवास्तव जी को। सर आप यहाँ आए तथा अपने शब्दों से हमें अभिसूचित करें।
यहाँ पर उपस्थित यहाँ पर उपस्थित हमारे सभी गणमान्य साथियों, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया से आए हुए डायरेक्टर प्रदीप जी, आईआईटी कानपुर से आए हुए प्रोफेसर अमित मिश्रा जी, प्रोफेसर प्रियंका अगाधे जी और प्रोफेसर इंदिरा सिंह और अन्य हमारे सभी साथी, हमारे जल निगम से आए हुए इंजीनियर्स और अन्य जितने भी हमारे स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं, हमारे जो फर्म्स हमारे लिए काम कर रही हैं, उनके सभी के प्रतिनिधि। ये जल जीवन मिशन जैसा कि सबको पता है कि ये एक बहुत ही एम्बिशियस स्कीम गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की है और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने इसकी घोषणा की थी। इसके पहले जो ड्रिंकिंग वाटर सप्लाई का जो एम होता था वो प्रोवाइडिंग एक्सेस टू पीपल फॉर ड्रिंकिंग वाटर हुआ करता था। जब ये जल जीवन मिशन लॉन्च किया ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब ने, तो ये एक्सेस टू ग्राउंड वाटर, एक्सेस टू ड्रिंकिंग वाटर से बदल के ये हुआ वी शैल बी प्रोवाइडिंग ड्रिंकिंग वाटर इन एवरी हाउस होल्ड इनसाइड द हाउस होल्ड। फंक्शनल हाउस होल्ड टैप कनेक्शन हर घर में देंगे। पहले जो एक्सेस टू वाटर का बात था उसमें था कि अगर हैंडपम्प हमने एक लोकेलिटी में दे दिया या एक प्रकार की चीजें दे दी तो उससे काम चल जाता था, लेकिन अब ये हुआ कि नहीं, हर घर में हमें पानी देना है। दिस वाज अ वेरी एम्बिशियस प्रोजेक्ट और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने इसमें काफ़ी अच्छा इस दिशा में प्रयास किया है। हम लोगों ने जिसमें स्कीम लॉन्च हुई तो वी वर 1.96% हमारी जो रूरल पॉपुलेशन है उसके 1.96% को हम घर के अंदर ड्रिंकिंग वाटर टैप्स के माध्यम से दे रहे थे। आज की डेट में हम लोगों ने बहुत प्रॉपर्ली इसको कंसीव किया, प्लान किया और इसको इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं अंडर द एबल गाइडेंस ऑफ ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टर सर। और उसमें आज की डेट में हम लोग करीब 70%, 69% के आसपास हम अचीव कर चुके हैं। और जो हमारी स्पीड चल रही है, जो हमारी टीम आप लोग काम कर रहे हैं, आप ही सभी लोग काम कर रहे हैं इसमें, और उसमें हम लोग बहुत जल्दी, मुझे लगता है कि इस फाइनेंशियल ईयर में 85% के आसपास का मार्क, 80 से 85% का मार्क करेंगे। तो हमारी अब जो अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ ग्राउंड वाटर, ऑफ ड्रिंकिंग वाटर है, वो तो काफ़ी अच्छी हो गई है। इसमें मैक्सिमम जो हमारे प्रदेश में है 2/3 से या 3/4 एरिया, वो है यहाँ पर कि हमारी ग्राउंड वाटर की अवेलेबिलिटी काफ़ी अच्छी थी, और क्वालिटी में भी, क्वांटिटी में भी, और बहुत कम डेप्थ पे अच्छा ग्राउंड वाटर मिल जाता है। खासतौर से जो तराई से और गंगा जी के बीच का इलाका है, वो बहुत अच्छा अवेलेबिलिटी है। गंगा जी से यमुना जी के बीच के इलाके में बहुत अच्छी होती है। यमुना जी के जो वेस्ट या साउथ में जो इलाका है, उसमें थोड़ी ड्रिंकिंग प्रॉब्लम थी, जिसमें बुंदेलखंड और बिंद भी बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम थी ग्राउंड वाटर। उन जगहों पर हमने सरफेस वाटर से कवर किया है, और मैक्सिमम स्टेट हमारी ग्राउंड वाटर से कवर है। इसमें एक बड़ी इशू आती है सोर्स सस्टेनेबिलिटी की, जिसके ऊपर हम लोग अलग से हैंडल कर रहे हैं। लेकिन दूसरी जो सबसे बड़ी इशू आती है, जैसे प्रीवियसली हमारी जो स्कीम्स लॉन्च हुई भी थी या चली भी थी, वो स्कीम्स बहुत फंक्शनल स्टेज में नहीं रह गई थी। उसकी मेजर वजह थी कि हम लोगों ने कैपिटल कॉस्ट तो लगा दी, लेकिन उसके बाद ऑपरेशन मेंटेनेंस पर प्रॉपर ध्यान नहीं दिया जा सका, या उसमें एक सेंस ऑफ ओनरशिप नहीं आ पाई कम्युनिटी के बीच में, इसकी वजह से प्रॉपर्ली मेंटेन नहीं हो पाई, और वो स्कीम धीमे धीमे अपनी उनकी फंक्शनलिटी कम होती गई। इसमें जल जीवन मिशन में जैसा है कि हमारा ये कैपिटल कंपोनेंट तो इम्पोर्टेंट है ही है, लेकिन इसके अलावा ऑपरेशन मेंटेनेंस का कंपोनेंट भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। इसमें इम्पोर्टेंट में सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है, सबसे पहले अवेयरनेस होनी चाहिए, लोगों में सेंस ऑफ बिलोंगिंग आना चाहिए, और अवेयरनेस आनी चाहिए हम कैसे मेंटेन करें, क्या करना चाहिए। एक पॉलिसी लेवल पर हमने बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजन लिया था कि ग्राउंड वाटर बेस्ड जितनी भी स्कीम्स हैं, जैसे मैंने कहा कि हमारी करीब 70% स्कीम्स हैं, उन सब में हम पावर कनेक्शन नहीं लेंगे, उनमें हम सोलर बेस्ड स्कीम लगाएंगे। एक नया इनोवेशन था, और ये काफ़ी सक्सेसफुली हमने प्रदेश में किया। इससे कैपिटल कॉस्ट थोड़ी बढ़ी, और उसमें गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने हमें सपोर्ट किया कैपिटल कॉस्ट बियर करने में, पूरा उन्होंने कहा कि सपोर्टिंग यू। लेकिन उससे ऑपरेशन मेंटेनेंस की बड़ी प्रॉब्लम हमारी हल हो गई, क्योंकि जो इसके पहले स्कीम्स डिसफंक्शनल होती थी मैक्सिमम, उनमें सबसे मेजर रीजन होता था कि पावर सप्लाई टाइमली गांव में हो सकता है, कहीं कहीं गांव में जो हमारे ग्राम प्रधान हैं, गांव की ग्राम सभाएं हैं, उनकी प्रायोरिटी में इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का बिल पे करना हो सकता कभी ना रहा हो, इसकी वजह से डिस्कनेक्शन हुए हों, और मैक्सिमम जगहों पर इसी वजह से दिक्कतें आई। और यह सच भी है कि एक गांव में अगर इतने से बिजली के बिल थे कि वो हो सकता है कि गांव सभा के रिसोर्सेज से करने की में दिक्कत भी आई होगी उनको, तभी वो डिस्कनेक्ट हुए होगा। इसलिए हमने कहा कि जो स्कीम्स ग्राउंड वाटर स्कीम्स हैं उनको यथासंभव सोलर पर लें, और जो सरफेस स्कीम्स हैं जो कि उनमें पावर का रिक्वायरमेंट इतना ज़्यादा होता है कि अगर उससे सोलर पर लेंगे तो इतनी ज़्यादा एरिया चाहिए कि पॉसिबल नहीं है लॉजिस्टिकली, इसलिए उसको मजबूरन हमें हाइब्रिड पर लेना पड़ा, सरफेस वाटर स्कीम्स। और सोलर हमने लिया तो उस समय एक पॉलिसी लेवल पे बड़ा हम लोगों का स्टेप लग रहा था, लेकिन हम लोगों ने सक्सेसफुली इसको किया और इम्प्लीमेंट भी सक्सेसफुली किया है। आज उत्तर प्रदेश में अकेले 900 मेगावाट की सोलर कैपेसिटी हमने क्रिएट की है, जिससे कार्बन फुटप्रिंट्स को कम करने में बहुत ही मेजर योगदान हम लोगों ने किया है, और उससे काफ़ी अच्छा रहेगा। ऑपरेशन मेंटेनेंस में भी वो चीज़ काफ़ी फायदा करेगी। लेकिन जैसे मैंने कहा कि सभी बातों के बारे में हमारी अवेयरनेस भी हो, हमारी टीम, हमारे इंजीनियर्स डाउन अवेयर हो, हमारे जो स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं, पार्टनर्स, वो अवेयर हो, और इसके बाद अल्टीमेटली तो ग्रास रूट लेवल पर जो हमारी लोकल बॉडीज हैं वो अवेयर हो, लोकल बॉडीज के मेंबर्स अवेयर हो। ये सारी चीज़ें बहुत जरूरी हैं। मुझे बहुत खुशी है कि इस मौके पर भारत सरकार के साथ में और IIT कानपुर के प्रोफेसर्स के साथ में हम लोग एक अवेयरनेस के लिए और इन कंपोनेंट्स पर डिस्कस करने के लिए ये आज ये सेमिनार कर रहे हैं। मुझे उम्मीद है कि इससे बहुत फ़ायदा होगा। हम लोग दिस शुड नॉट बी द फर्स्ट, दिस इज द फर्स्ट वन, दिस शुड नॉट बी लास्ट वन। मेरे ख्याल से इस तरह और हम लोग आगे स्टेप्स करेंगे, क्योंकि हमें इसको दूर तक ले जाना है, जैसे कि हमारे ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर की इच्छा है। अभी बहुत चीज़ें हैं, मैं चाहूँगा कि आगे बढ़ें। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Next, I would like to call Professor Amit Mishra, IIT Kanpur.
I would like to request IIT Kanpur Professor Amit Mishra for overview of objective and agenda of the workshop. A big round of applause, please.
Hello, good morning to all of you. Honorable Anurag Srivastava ji, Pradeep Singh ji, my colleagues from IIT Kanpur and all the stakeholders present here. So it's a matter of pride that all of us in some way is associated with the Jal Jeevan mission. And we are all actually working towards achieving the goal which has been envisioned under the Jal Jeevan mission of the Har Ghar Jal mission of the Honorable Prime Minister of India. And we feel proud to look at some of the achievements so far. We may actually look back in 2019 when this Jal Jeevan mission Har Ghar Jal thing had started. And the data at that time was that it reflected that only about 16% of the total rural households were connected, so to say. And starting from 16% in 2019, and the figure, the most updated figure I saw in the JJM dashboard, it was 70%. By no means it's a huge achievement. And as Anurag Srivastava ji just now told that in Uttar Pradesh only from 1.96%, it has gone to 69%. And at this crucial juncture, of course, we may feel proud and say that, okay, we have achieved this much. But there are major issues that we need to address at this particular point, because we have the coverage, but we need to ensure that when we have come up to 70% by connecting the rural households, Har Ghar Jal and all the things, so functionality and the walkability, to ensure the quality of the water that reaches, the standard of the water, the frequency, regularity, adequacy, all these points are extremely important. So it's not about just getting connected and ensuring that we attain a particular number, but we should actually ensure that it works. So in that particular respect, today's workshop is extremely important. If we look at the agenda items of today's workshop, it talks about various issues associated with functionality checks, whether you are trying to look at the functionality from the point of view of total enumeration, or you are trying to ensure some confidence interval so that you can say that with this much of confidence through sampling you can actually talk about the functionality. You are trying to look at the adequacy, portability and regularity of aspects which are there in the functionality check section. Now in today's world, of course, once we are having this Internet of Things, we are going to talk about those in later sessions, but it's extremely useful, or rather important, to realize at this point that without these IoT-based measurements and monitoring of both water supply parameters and quality parameters, we cannot move ahead. As Pradeep ji had said in his inaugural address, that it's about time that we share our knowledge, we share the information that we have. Information is wealth, and you need to look at the data that we are eventually going to collect through all these sensors and IoT devices, how to actually look at analyzing those and talk about predictive analysis, or maybe warning signals, warning systems in place and all. So it's time that we look at all those things with more seriousness, exchange ideas, exchange our knowledge, talk about problems and try to solve them. The other issues which are the key themes of this particular workshop, it tries to touch about use of solar powers. As once again Pradeep ji had highlighted, it's extremely important that we realize it and look forward to using that. One aspect of this entire mission is to look at points that would be revolving around the leakage control measures and detection of leakage, of course. Gone are the days, of course, you send people to various places to find out whether there is any leak or not. So there are, of course, various technologies that we need to adapt and to look at what type of detection of leakages that we can actually efficiently do. And that would control leakage and then try to detect it at the earliest possible chance and then try to rectify that. Another important aspect that we are going to talk about in this today's workshop is various methods of disinfection. One point is to look at whether water reaches to every Indian household. The other point is to ensure that whatever water reaches, it's actually of good quality. And in case it is not, then this methods of disinfection, of course, should start right at the source point before it actually goes to the end point. So various methods of disinfection do exist, and say the latest genre of methods of electrochlorinator, which actually tries to look at this producing sodium hypochlorites and all. So it does not produce hazardous wastes in such a situation. So, but there are various issues that one needs to discuss, pros and cons of such use of such techniques, and various assessment of dosage and time for generation of the sodium hypochlorite type of chemicals. So all these issues which are listed there, which are supposed to be covered in today's workshop, we are there to hear to the agencies which are going to make the presentations. This workshop, by the way, was supposed to be held at IIT Kanpur, and we had made arrangements, actually almost all the arrangements in a short notice, that this workshop would be held at IIT Kanpur, and the entire JJM team at IIT Kanpur, comprising of myself, Professor Priyanka Bagade and Professor Indra Shekhar Sen, we were actually making all the arrangements and all the things about the workshop. It would have been nice if all of you had come to IIT Kanpur. We could have taken you to our water quality lab and to our IoT test bed and all the things, and could have demonstrated with our live data and all the type of things that we are trying to do. But it's important to realize that all of us are working towards the same common goal. And as Pradeep said, that it's a unique opportunity that the academia and the practitioners are coming together. So from IIT Kanpur JJM team, we would like to ensure that we will be providing all possible help that we can provide with the knowledge that we can have, and share the knowledge, and to see that it really works. Okay? So I would not waste further time. Let the sessions actually begin. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. A big round of applause, please. There is a tea break now for 15 minutes. So we will meet after tea break. Till then, enjoy your tea and snacks. Thank you so much, everyone.
बंद है मोदी ना जाएगा
once again a very, very warm and gentle welcome to all of you present in the house. Moving forward to the next step, I would like to request Census Tech Limited, PMC, for the presentation on O&M by Project Management Consultant. I would request for a big round of applause, please.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Special thanks to our Principal Secretary, who has been a bold leader in this endeavor, I call it endeavor of providing water supply and FHTCs to every household, who have provided guidance on how to and continuous support in approvals of different designs being submitted by agencies. Also, we would say that it was a quite tedious task which is performed, and we were able to proceed with construction work that is serious problems in systems. The center
वो थोड़ा क्लोजअप में दिक्कत है मेरे को नीचे पीछे पीछे
Hello. Yes, you can hear me. So, thank you very much for your participation, especially our professors, our colleagues, our stakeholders, and all other guests who have come to participate in this so important workshop. That this is what we will be achieving the construction goals during the operation and maintenance. If the construction goals have been separated from operation and maintenance, it would have been a disaster, because such large schemes could not have been handled by locals or the locals people who could have been trained or anything like that. This is all specialized work, and the specialized work seeks a lot of attention of the specialized people. So that was a great step which the government took in taking the 10 years operation and maintenance after the construction by the same agency who has done the job. So this is a welcome, very welcome step, and we appreciate and applaud our Principal Secretary, who has done such a lot of efforts and relentless efforts that we were surprised to see that how the things were being pushed and how bold decisions were being taken and how the bold actions were placed in the scenarios. Thank you very much, sir. I am BMC from Census. My name is Qureshi. I'm state head for the Census Tech. My presentation is solely based on the contractual issues of operation and maintenance. So starting with the first slide, as you can see that we have 5 phases of migrating from construction to operation, to complete operation in 10 years, and then handing over back to the stakeholders or the client, so that the system continues with the smooth running, flawless running. So construction and completion is the first stage in which the system has to be stabilized, and trial run has to be performed, in which the system will be stabilized, and if any hiccups are there, those will be attended, and in such a way that those hiccups do not again come into the picture. Then after 3 months of trial run, there will be immediate start of operation and maintenance period, and that operation and maintenance period will last for 10 years, but it will have its own implications of providing the required rate of water. Can we have a next slide, please? So that's the trial run. Trial run I have already spoken, and we have these catalogs available with us. Whoever is interested can contact Mr. Ankur Vajpayee, and he can give you a copy of this. This is based on the contractual matters and the clauses of which have been mentioned on the top of each and every slide. So commissioning the pumping plant within 10 days of the start of the trial run is one of the issues, that pumps have to be set in such a scenario that once the notice of trial run is given by the contractor, within 10 days he has to start all the pumps in sequence, so that the water starts reaching the end of the system. Now, with that, you have to have the qualities. The qualities will be checked, the quality of water will be checked, the dosage of chlorine will be checked. And since all this is automated and we have this chlorine analyzers installed on the overhead reservoirs, so we will be having some scenarios of how much chlorine is being dosed into the system. And then we have manual measurements of doing residual chlorine. In between, I would suggest, and I've done it myself, that whenever I go to the site and have this opportunity of flowing water and see the opportunity of flowing water in the tap, I just drink it with my hands, so that the people get confidence that, okay, this water everybody is drinking, these guys are drinking, so it's all safe. Otherwise, sometimes people have a doubt whether this water is good or not, and everybody, whoever has a chance, just see that what is the taste of the water, and see if there is a tinge of chlorine, that would ascertain that, okay, it has got some base of chlorine. Then next issue is, next slide please, training the local persons and operation and maintenance training. This is also part of the contractual requirements, and all details have been given, and priority has been given to take the locals into the picture and train them, so that they can understand the system and start running the system by themselves. As the system can be controlled centrally at Lucknow also, so it can give the data of how the system is running, and it can give a control system also. And if you can see that if there is an error anywhere, you will find the errors also. So training will for about just for thumb rule, some 10 nominated personals. Those are the minimum which have been suggested in the contractual documents. As the schemes are very, very large, there could be large numbers of trainees from the locals, and they have to be geared up in a scenario that they will deal with the ongoing supply of the system. Then we come to next slide, and that is public complaints and redressal cell. a minimum of 2 persons of complaint and redressal cell has been taken into consideration, but that is minimum. Whatever more is required for every village, that has to be there. Communication from the whoever has got a problem, or whoever is not getting the pressure, whoever is not getting the chlorine tinge in the water, they can make the complaints, and the complaints will be attended within 24 hours, or if a leakage has developed, within 48 hours. The contractor is liable to complete all these scenarios so that the continuous flawless water supply is continued. Then our next slide comes to the completion certificate. There are prerequisites for issuing a completion certificate. The first is the submission of equipment drawings, technical specifications, catalogs, and O&M manual. The contractor has to go through the contents of the contract documents and make an operation and maintenance manual, the procedures of manual, and then that is the first document which will be required. Then as built drawings on GIS. As per JJM operational guidelines, geotagging is also required. After completion of the contract, contractor shall give a 21 days notice in writing to the engineer to carry out the required test to ascertain the soundness and effectiveness of the work executed, and performance report, test reports will be generated. Performance of the WTP, performance of the pumps, performance of the overhead tanks, and all these things will come into the performance test. There is a whole list which we have given to SWSM, a checklist that can be seen as a base, and more points can be added if required. Then we come to the checklist. I've already discussed. This checklist provides you with 3 color codes, and one is the completion is 0 to 10 to 80%, and 81 to 95%, and 96 to 100%. So most of the works should be minimum 80% completed. It should not be less than 80%. 80% can be a figure of physical verification. Then we go to maintenance system. Maintenance system, as I have already told, that operation manual has to be submitted by the contractor along with the catalogs of all equipment and GIS mapped distribution network and transmission system. All these things have to be submitted, and here are some 9 points which have been defined in the contractual documents, which have to be taken care of and incorporated in the operation and maintenance manual. Then comes the distribution system losses and leak detection. There is a clause in the bid document that a contractor has to install bulk flow meters at strategic positions in the distribution network, and a program, a software of leak detection shall be established for the entire water distribution system, such that each section of the system turns up for leak detection at least once in 3 months. High pressure water distribution, corrosive soils, corrosive water, inferior quality of piping, fitting, age of the pipes, gland packings of the valves shall be identified and attended in the leak detection program. Then we come down to service level benchmarks. The responsibility lies with the contractor for 10 years, in which he has to ascertain that 55 LPCT, 7 meters with 7 meters head, and the quality of water as given in 10,500 IS, and definitely dosing of chlorine, and establishing the chlorination system is one of the other challenges.
which has to be taken abroad the service operation maintenance manual. Besides, new habitations, if are developed in the vicinity of the scheme, those have to be covered by the contractor, and that will be paid. That will be a paid item. Manpower deployment during operation and maintenance, we have classified the major operators like project manager, maintenance engineer, chemists, operators, helpers, electricians, watchmen, linemen, fitters. They have to be employed at the site, the numbers which have to be agreed by the contractor with the client. Procurement of consumable is one of the other very, very critical issues in this scenario, and the main critical supply lead time is one of the very exclusive requirement, because supply time is the time which controls that how much chemicals you must store, and besides it also has to be stored within the shelf life of the particular material. So contractor has to make arrangements, and this pro forma is presented to show that criticality of a lead time will always be there, whether you are in operation and maintenance or you are just supervising the operation and maintenance. Liabilities and responsibilities of the agency during operation and maintenance. This is also clause serial number 2 of the instruction to the bidders, and also point 7, 8, and serial number 13 of security deposits. So this is all taken from the bid document. Whoever is working on these phase 1 projects can get all these documents, all this information over there. Just to conclude that the security deposit at the rate of 10% of the accepted cost of the operation and maintenance valid up to 1 month beyond completion of the O&M. This will be the security deposit, but the security deposit for the construction works will be returned only when the performance security for operation and maintenance period is deposited with the defect liability, within the defect liability period. There are certain clauses for penalty for not maintaining the service level benchmarks, and that is the contractor has to prove that he is been supplying 55 LPCT. He has to prove that the pressure of 7 meters has been retained, and the quality of water as per IS 10500. The contractor is responsible to attend the complaints of the consumer within 24 hours of information received. In the event of the contractor fails to comply with any one or all stipulated events mentioned in the contract agreement, will be penalized as per contract conditions. So this is very important, that during the contractor must be aware that what are the service level benchmarks and how they are going to maintain, how they are going to sustain it for 10 years. Because one thing more is there, that the last 30 days of operation and maintenance in the 10 years tenure will be also be under a specific inspection, and the contractor has to give a flawless operation and maintenance in the last 30 days of the 10 years maintenance. Besides that, the contractor, the equipments and all the mechanical issues will be audited on the within the 30 last days to see the residual life of that component, because mechanical components are subject to 15 years of age. After 10 years, how much degradation has taken place and how much they are going to run, whether they are going to run for another 5 years or not,
this has to be ascertained. And if any component is found that it is not going to run for next 5 years, the contractor is liable to upgrade that part of the system so that the 15 years are achieved for electromechanical equipment. Then we come to billing and payment terms to the agency during operation and maintenance. It's very simply written in the bid documents that 1 year operation and maintenance, the value will be divided in 12 equal parts, and at the end of every month, when the contractor will be submitting the performance report, the payment will be released. Handing over of the scheme to the client after 10 years, I've already discussed and I've clarified that last 30 days will be flawless running of the system. If it suffers some kind of hiccup, then again the time will be added on to rectify that hiccup, and the system and the operation and maintenance period may increase from 10 years to a few days, few weeks, or perhaps a month more. Then centralized IoT platform. This is very common. Everybody has developed this centralized IoT platform. We have also developed, and we are in this on a very large scale with Maharashtra government. Recently, we have been awarded a project for this. So this gives you a platform both as data-wise and operational-wise. It depends that how good signals you are getting. So you may go with the GSM system, you may have to go switch on to satellite system and use a satellite system, because satellite system is the very powerful system, and for these systems which have to run on remotely, they must be having a full strength of the signals. Otherwise, you will keep on giving the command from here and it will not go over there. So that has to be seen, and this kind of survey has to be done whether the potential requirement of the strength of the these signals as a GSM is available or not. If not, then we have to switch on to satellite system. Thank you very much. That's all we can conclude. And some sample boards have also been shown. Can we have some few more slides? The last slide. The last slide shows that the left corner we have this map of Uttar Pradesh, and you just go and click on any of the districts. Then it will come to the upper left of the corner, and from there, if you are clicking the particular scheme over there, then it will open up as we have seen you showed you as Mohanlalganj. In that Mohanlalganj schemes, all the locations and all these areas where the water supply is happening will be geotagged, and it will once you click it, then you will get this schematic diagram, which is right below the corner. And in this diagram, you will have all the values which will keep on updating. If the signal is showing red, then the pump is not running. If the signal turns to green, that means the pump is running. And the data of historical data will be available when the water was started, when the water was shut down on every day, and we can have month-wise, 6-month-wise, and different type of graphs can be generated, and then that can be analyzed to improve the supply system. Thank you very much, gentlemen, and that's all from my side, from the PNC.
This blackboards are live. This blackboard is live. This state dashboard. ऐसा हाँ.
लाइव भी है. यहाँ से अपडेट कर सकते हैं हम, लाइव भी दिखा सकते हैं.
अच्छा.
दोनों चीज़. आपके अनुसार हम 2 मिनट में किसी भी स्कीम को आप यहाँ से रिमोटली.
So this dashboard data that was displayed, it said what frequency of data? You said you have historical. It's real time. So real time and the
Real time. It's real time. It's continuous.
The historical data is stored.
And the historical data every hour is stored.
Okay. So that's the hourly frequency.
That's hourly frequency.
And what are the variables being stored on the historical data?
Pump start, pump shutdown. The aquifer level before the start of the pump, and once the pump has started, what is the drawdown condition? These values are there. Then you have the flow meter, which will be giving you the flow, and then you have a chlorine doser, which gives you how much dosing is happening. And then after the overhead tank, there's a chlorine analyzer also, pH analyzer, which gives you the pH value real time and chlorine value real time.
So all those data are stored in the historical format?
That all data
every
is
hour?
Every hour. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Your presentation was engaging and very informative for us. I request everyone for a huge round of applause, please. Thank you so much.
कुर्सी लो.
May I take a minute, please? I would like to request Larsen and Tubro Limited.
So we have implemented this live dashboard, whatever Mr. Pradeshi was telling in Hardoi district, and this is a live which you can see. So here live data is coming, and based on this data, whatever data is coming in, this is a live thing which is running right now. There are various parameters which we capture, and based on that parameters, we do predictive analysis that in case if something goes wrong in motor, probably in case if there's any leakage in the system, either the head or voltage, that might go. So based on this real-time data, we have established or we are planning.
With a big round of applause, I would like to welcome MD Uttar Pradesh Jal Nigam Rural, Dr. Balkar ji. Please proceed.
We are capturing all these parameters: the pressure, the OHSR level, borewell level, motor. So right now the scheme is running. In case it is solar powered scheme, we will show whether it is solar powered or grid powered. What is the motor frequency? What is the DC voltage? What is how much energy has been used? What is the flow rate? What is the total flow which has been generated so far? And we have also integrated the DG level in case if DG is being used, that what is the fuel which is being consumed in case if it is going to run from DG, then these all parameters we have captured. Now based on this data, we can, in case if some abnormality comes, in that case, if there is any abnormality, in that case, we create a alert, and that alert is being assigned to somebody on the field. So this is one part. This part is all about getting real-time data, and then there is the analytical part which is based on that. So we have not live this system in Uttar Pradesh yet, but we are planning to implement the same system in Uttar Pradesh, where you can see all these people. So these are all live engineers. So we are showing just the Rajasthan data. So based on whatever, so we have all the number of the phone number, their live location, what ticket has been assigned to them. So once based on these real-time data, whatever is being fetched, so these gentlemen, whoever are on the field, they do three things. One is preventive maintenance, one is predictive maintenance, and then complaint management. So whoever is closest to the site,
that person would be having an alert on his mobile application. So in case if there is any complaint nearby, that person would be looking for that complaint. In case if there is any preventive schedule planned, that person would be doing it. And in case if based on real-time data, in case if something goes wrong, then the pump would automatically be closed, and then that person will be looking after. Similarly, we have set up, again, this in UP we have just set up one location in Bhadohi. This system is live in Rajasthan. We are showing the live location of Rajasthan. But based on these data, this thing, all these alerts and everything gets generated. So this is a live application, whatever we have implemented in SWS and UP, and the other screen, defect management tracking system, that screen was in Rajasthan. So these two things we are planning to implement in UP.
Are you doing this thing in Mirzapur, or you are planning to do something in Mirzapur?
Sir,
Mirzapur.
Mirzapur, SCADA was not there, sir. So we are planning as part of our groundwater scheme, sir.
Okay. Why not surface schemes?
Sir, because in surface scheme, sir, generally there is already a maintenance team which sits there. This maintenance problem majorly comes in decentralized schemes, sir. And based on our experience from Rajasthan, where there are various decentralized locations, we have realized that sending right manpower at right time to resolve the issues, that is the biggest challenge. That is why we have created this DMTS kind of application.
Number two, secondary, in your preventive mechanism, do you have any mechanism by which you can ensure that the tail enders are actually getting the water? What is the mechanism for that?
So, sir, right now, for tail end pressure and tail end chlorination, these are 2 points. Right now, as part of, in case our software system is designed enough to capture that data, right now, because we are
no, in that case, are the tail enders pre-specified, or you keep on changing them?
So it all depends, sir. In case if it all depends, sir. In case
they should be changing. Number one, they should be changing. Number two,
it is all configurable, sir.
Number three, surface scheme should be.
So let's say, sir, there is some unauthorized connection. So this is particularly used when. So I'll take example of Ajmer. We are right now GA Infra is taking care of Ajmer distribution network. So there are a lot of unauthorized connection. So whenever there is unauthorized connection,
in case you can start implementing this thing.
Sure, sir.
With the exception that the tail ender should be coming on a rotation basis, not fixed tail ender, and that data should be available. At least 5 tail enders of every village should be available on screen. We should be able to know how much chlorination is there, residual chlorine, and how much the flow of water is there.
Sure, sir.
Two things. And surface schemes have to be there. There is absolutely no, just because you don't have the software for surface schemes, doesn't mean the surface scheme should not be taken. That should be taken, that should be on a priority basis.
Sure, sir.
Are you saying?
Sir, yes, sir.
LNT.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
No. Thank you so much, sir. Moving forward to the next step, I would like to request Larsen and Tubro Limited for presentation on O&M by contractor. Yes.
वहाँ से आवाज आ रही है? देखिए। वहीं से कर दी?
Hello.
Okay. A big round of applause,
Very good afternoon to all of you, and I take this opportunity to express my gratitude and thanks to AJM, the UP Jal Nigam, and IIT Kanpur chair for giving this wonderful opportunity in
Introduction problem.
Express our gratitude on this. I am Naveen Francis. I I'm senior DGM in O&M from L&T. I have 26 years of experience in both government as well as in private sector in operation and maintenance of water and wastewater systems, A to Z of water and wastewater. And this is my colleague.
I'm Venkat Rajulu. I'm from O&M again. I'm taking care of complete business in South India, North India, as well as UP for L&T. Completely from O&M. And we also have Mr. Sujit Kumar with us. We both will be taking us, take you through the presentation. Thank you.
So, in my entire experience, there are very few times that I have seen O&M being concentrated before the start of O&M, and such a gathering is being done to understand how to take forward the assets we have constructed or built. And I am so glad, before my retirement, there are few chances coming up like this. I'm very honored to speak in such an august gathering on how to proceed with O&M, because this has been my life. 26 years of fight for O&M. I start my presentation with a brief introduction on what we are. So currently we have 54 projects running, all municipal water and wastewater projects, O&M, throughout the country. We serve 15.3 million population, and water treatment plant contracts are 18. The number of plants will be more because these are contracts we are talking about. There are 12 waste treatment plant contracts, pump station and network contracts are 24. And we have total assets maintained as 44,000 number. And we constituted this O&M department in the year 2016 when we came to know that this is where the world is moving forward, and especially India, being concentrating on water and wastewater sector. And we have a strength in the head office. Our total staff we have is 160, and workmen 2,600 spread all over India. And we have 12 people in the head office who are functional specialists. So we have centralized repository of knowledge. All of us are trained very well in the operation and maintenance of assets. So we have disciplines from process, which I am actually a process engineer. We have instrumentation engineers, we have electrical, mechanical, and we have tendering and proposals team. So we know how to bid for the O&M projects, wherein we don't lose money, but we give a very good value addition in terms of operation and maintenance. So I just start with 2 slides on what is O&M. So through O&M, what we are expecting is to improve efficiency first of all. Then we do not want to spoil our assets. So that is what we call as highest mean time between failures. So we use computerized maintenance management system, which is actually installed in all our plants, which are having more than 2 years O&M, and where we monitor the entire activities, as this gentleman was telling. We monitor all the vital parameters like vibration, temperatures, pressure, all the parameters are monitored, and based on the CMMS, we actually take out, because we are currently managing 44,000 assets. It's not easy to bring out preventive maintenance schedules. So all the schedules go automatically on a daily basis at 5 a.m. to all the sites throughout India. And we see that there's a timely closure. There's a penalty if the site doesn't close. This is all escalated in the system, and it comes up to the IC head level. So this is how we manage the CMMS system to achieve better efficiency in maintaining the assets. And then the next one, MTTR, is mean time to repair. So we do not want repairs to happen. We want to identify before we end up in repairs. Repairs are costly, and I do not know how many of you are aware, the spares cost can be 400% of the actual capex cost. So at no condition we want the assets to go into a repair mode. We identify, we do a preventive maintenance, which is absolutely just preventive maintenance. Lubrication schedule is followed, and we have a predictive analysis program, which I'll take in the next slide. And we have a centralized skills training institute. This is for training O&M, and I would like to inform JJMs and all these agencies that we do free training for the entire public whoever wants to come. We give accommodation, we give food. Each batch consists of 45 trainees. It can be anyone who is interested to come and get trained, and we do not give them a confirmation on job, but we give it to the market as a CSR activity, because we find skilled manpower is a shortage in the O&M field. So to bridge the skilled manpower, this training program has been going on for the last 5 years, and every 45 days we bring in a new batch. There are hundreds of people trained all over the country, including our own workmen who have been trained and brought out. So we have a syllabus which covers the entire PAN process to maintenance of all the disciplines. So this is how the CSTA training program is structured, and it is funded through the CSR activity of L&T. And this in Bangalore, in the center. Then we have safety, as we all know that we can't compromise on safety. So we have something called as the VOEHS. And we take a little bit aggressive on safety. So the entire team in Chennai, on a real-time basis, we can monitor. There are also glasses, VR glasses, which is employed to understand what exactly is happening at site. And our safety standards are quite high. I don't want to brag about the safety standards, but looking at the number of operations we do, we employ more than 2 lakh employees on a daily basis, 2 lakh workmen, and we have hardly any fatality, and accidents are not tolerated in our system. So safety is paramount, and we have a software which is only for that, which is called as VOEHS. Quality control procedures, yes, we have a repository of standard operating procedures, which is abundantly available in our system or online in ERP system. And we ensure in all the 54 projects. I will take this opportunity also to tell that entire COVID period, not a single day, any one of our 54 installations was stopped throughout India. We ensured that the spare parts come in advance. Where there was critical emergency, we have taken permission from the principal secretary from all the highest levels to take the material with escort to the agencies for repairs, and we have brought. So this is the kind, we have ensured all the chemicals are available on site in time. So this is appreciated by almost all the clients, and we have got enough accolades on this particular aspect. So entire COVID period was a learning for us as well as for the client, how to manage assets. Can you please go to the next slide? So what is the operation methodology? I touched upon the skill stuff which is actually in a shortage right now in India. I'm not sure how many of us are, I was giving a different presentation elsewhere, wherein I was showing that the tier 1, tier 2 employees or skilled workmen are absolutely, and this Niti Aayog report, it was less than 50% which is available in the country. So the development of skilled manpower is paramount in the O&M field, and I request all the companies and the organizations which are involved to develop freely the people available so that we can start attacking this particular issue. I've touched upon standard operating procedures. Then we have process monitoring analysis, which I'll be covering through a different slide called as remote monitoring system. We have a centralized remote monitoring system, which is in Chennai, through which we will be covering that. Chemical procurement inventory, we have yearly or maybe up to 5 years rate contract with companies like Grasim, who are the producers of chlorine. We have long-term contracts with polyelectric suppliers, hypochlorite suppliers. So these long-term contracts are ensured that we are able to minimize the losses, get the best product, and give out the best efficiency in our operations, because so much talk has been happening about chlorine. Chlorine is one thing. If it is gas, you have a risk, but you don't lose chlorine. But if it is hypochlorite, which is liquid in state, sodium hypochlorite, you lose chlorine, the risk is less. So we are also trying with calcium hypochlorite. We have started a program wherein we don't use dosing pumps anymore. We are using hydraulic pumps. So if the water is flowing through the pump, the chemical is sucked. Otherwise, the chemical is not sucked. In dosing pumps, what happens is sometimes the water is not there, it still keeps dosing. you are losing chemical, which is again not the best thing to consume. So we have certain research programs going on in-house, and I'm very glad to tell that we have last year inaugurated one of the largest research laboratory in India with an capex of 50 crore plus in Kanchipuram in India, Chennai, near Chennai, wherein we have dedicated the 50 crores only for water and wastewater research. And we are one of the only laboratories in India which we can actually do most of the higher parameters, and then we have in-house research team. We have 24 doctorates employed over there to do research on new products as well as improving the existing systems. So if someone gets an opportunity, we are very glad to take you to the research institute called as Water Technology Center in Kanchipuram. And we have technical support, both central as well as from the local. That process optimization is one of the key methodologies through which we do improvement. One particular point about process optimization I would like to tell, because chlorine is being debated quite significantly in this. Chlorine demand varies with respect to even temperature. So we have to now monitor and see whether the winters are going to help us in any way, or is it going to be problematic. And the summers, is it going to be problematic? So we do an elaborate exercise throughout the year. We have covered a couple of seasons to see that which is the best method of operating, which is the best dosage. Because there are clients which we may not like to hear, but those who feel that you dose chlorine up to 2.5 ppm. There is an example in Chennai. What has happened is the entire intake structure collapsed because chlorine ate away the concrete. So overdosing of chlorine, as we all know, is not the best of chemicals to dose. But we are forced because there is no alternative as of now. So we have been telling that optimization is the right word. It is not overdosing. Overkill is actually a problem for us, not good thing. So that we have been doing a lot of in-house actual life practice to see what is the best point to attack the requirement. Maybe there is intermittent dosing possible. Instead of a continuous dosing as a pre-chlorination. I'm not talking about post-chlorination. Pre-chlorination is fundamentally to eradicate all your algae and all those issues. Even a staggered dosing is good enough. So that is what we are also looking at. Then we have chemical and power optimization, which is coming up. And obviously the quality is no compromise, and we have never been in that situation like this till this point of time. So I have just divided broadly into surface water scheme and the borewell scheme. So this is a typical example of a surface water scheme. We have the intake, then we have the pumping mains to the WGP, and then after treatment you have the clear water reservoirs and overhead reservoirs through which you supply to the household connection, functional household tap connection. So this is a typical organization chart which we have in the surface water projects. So we have the manager, and then we have an operations team. We have the maintenance team divided into the different disciplines, as well as we have a network management team. So this is how we now typically operate. So if we have networks varying up to 3,000 kilometers, 4,000 kilometers in single contract. So it's not easy for us to manage this kind of network. So we need to have a very strong network management team. Apart from the surface water, plant is much easier to manage because plant is all centralized. As he was telling earlier, in networks, the challenge is much more because I think now we are working on Delhi. 60%, up to 60% of water in some areas is lost. We have just now getting completed in a project called D2A, D2B in Bangalore, where we saved 54 million liters per day by managing the NRW. This 54 million allowed them to supply additional areas without putting a new plant. So this was something which is a good learning for us, and we are now implementing this NRW reduction in most of our projects. We have advanced technology being implemented to ensure that's happening. So this has already been explained by the consultant. So we have 55 electricity requirement. We have to provide manpower, so we will not waste time on this. So how do we achieve this? In some of the plants, we have centralized SCADA, which actually we can do monitoring, through which we can get the historian and alarms, and we get the reports and data for analysis. Currently, we are in the program to have a centralized command center than what we are currently operating. We have a remote monitoring center, which is currently based at Chennai. We are planning to upgrade it much bigger to ensure that we do analytics much better, because analytics is the key. Data is the key in the future. So to ensure that we are able to be in the forefront of technology, as well as we beat the competition, data is going to be analyzed in a very big way in our central command center in Chennai. So in the tube well scheme, typically the scheme consists, which we are implementing here. It has a hydrostatic level transmitter from in the borehole, and it goes through various online instruments. Typically, the pressure flow turbidity, and it goes after chlorination into the overhead tank. And 30 minutes minimum residence time is required before the chlorinated water is sent out. Otherwise, you may not. So, getting a smell may not be the only requirement. You dose and you get a smell, but after 30 minutes you may not have any smell. So we ensure that the dosage is in such a place that we get 30 minutes residence time to have the residual of 0.2 at the point of use, and up to 1 ppm. Up to 1 ppm we will dose it at the point of generation, so that it becomes an online chlorination. And then we have it flowing through the flow meter to various houses. So this is how we have many sensors online, which I will be showing in the next. We are connected through a remote system, wherein all the information goes through a centralized system. Please continue. Not touching upon the O&M scope again, it is all mentioned earlier by the consultant. So this is a system architecture. I think Venkat will be a better person to explain.
Sir, as Mr. Naveen said, the entire tuber has been designed in such a way that it's completely automated. It's going to be completely unmanned operation, right from, probably if you go back to the previous slide, just I'll quickly take you through the previous flow diagram. So right from the water availability in the borewell, it measures the level on its own. The pump is being started when the solar power is available. Then it gets charged to the overhead tank. The entire operation is completely unmanned over there. Based on the sump level and overhead tank level, the entire system operates. Even if the quality of water is not up to the mark, there is a turbidity analysis is kept over there. It will automatically, when the turbidity is more than the permitted limit, it will automatically bypass it to the what you call groundwater recharging mechanism. So the entire tube well is completely unmanned. So what we have done is, the entire tube well scheme, let's say in case of Varanasi, if we talk about, there are 531 tube well schemes L&T is going to manage it. What we have done is, we have divided the entire Varanasi into 8 blocks basically. This block officer will be holding a tab, and he will only monitor. The tube well itself will be automatic. We will not be interfering with the operation. But you know very well, automation is susceptible for failure at any point of time. Therefore, a supervisory check will be at the block level. Tube wells early morning, once the solar power is available, morning tube will automatically start. It will fill, distribution will happen, everything will automatically open. Whether it is happening automatically or not, a supervisory check will be done at the block level, which will be done through a tab. In case there is a malfunction in the automation, let's say some sensor is not working, some interlocks are not working, then probably a block officer will be able to operate it remotely also. That's how we have gone together. The block level control. Again, over the block level, we have a district level administration where the entire Varanasi district or Prayagraj or whatever district of Burgonda, we have a central control room where the operation of entire tube well, the entire tube well can be seen right from water supply, solar power availability, what is the cumulative value and what is the FRC, what is the turbidity, the entire things can be monitored from the district level control center. And on top of that, we also have, as you all know, we have disaster recovery system, and we have unified control station where the entire Uttar Pradesh can be monitored from a single location. This is what we have implemented automation in UP tube well. Yeah. Similar to surface water scheme, we are also planning to deploy. This is what is our proposed organogram. The quantity will change based on the the geography and the volume of work involved at the site. But our proposal is we will have block officers who will have a supervisory check of each tube, and we will also have a central monitoring and maintenance. The team will be there because the operation we have not envisaged any manpower because it's completely going to be automated. Only block officer will have a supervisory check. But whereas for maintenance, of course, we will have a separate team because they will have a surveillance, some leakage, like what are the scopes we are going to do in maintenance. We are caught up in a separate slide. This is what is the organogram. We have put it one for quality, safety, and we have some maintenance team, and we also have central monitoring crew. This is what we are proposing to put so that the entire end objective of whatever JJM is talking about will be able to deliver. Next, please. Yeah. So if you talk about the entire tubular, there are about 32,000 field instruments have been deployed. So this itself will talk about the intensity of automation, what we have done in a tubular. The entire the tubular, be it a process or even a quality, is being monitored on real-time basis, and you will be able to have a control or decision at the remote itself. And almost 8.5 scatter tags. It's almost close to 50 WTPs integrated. 8.5 scatter tags being configured. And we have the hot protocols and a host of other features, maybe that the detailed engineering stage or something you discussed at length. But just to give you a feel that the complete the system is on a digital platform, and entire communication flows to the central control room through visa, and it has a host of features which everybody talks about, be it asset management or the what you call the deviations being escalated and all those. Next slide, please. Yeah. Next, it's not we talk about only the how we operate it. The backbone of the entire Windham is how we manage our process, which we talked about, how we manage our assets, we are going to talk, and the backbone is going to be a training. So we have a structured training on various subjects which we propose for both surface water and tubular. We are going to have a training on process for operators. We are going to have training on all the MOVs, SCADA training, mechanical reliability training, and we will also have electrical instrumentation training, laboratory analysis training, and chlorine safety and lockout tagout training. These are all certain trainings we propose for surface water scheme as well as for tubular schemes. And non-technical, we have on safety and quality assurance and also on customer complaints and reversal, we are proposing a training. Moving forward, this is a key. As I told you, not only training as a process control, how it works. We give primary focus on asset management. As Mr. Naveen said, we have our in-house computerized maintenance management system. Once what is handed over to Windham, our primary job is to map all the assets to our central maintenance management system. It is nothing but a digitally aided software-based platform where each job will be able to, will map all the assets, right from the specification, number of assets, type and everything. We'll be able to get all the data from the CMMS. In the real-time basis, you can see what is the availability. Probably we will also give you extension, where if you want in Lkhnau or even we'll give you the remote desktop, where even in real time you can see what is the availability. You are seeing there are a certain sample, the availability of other sites, where the availability is 99.38, where some say that it's 99.39 and so on. And look at the MPTR. It's not that we only propagate what is the best practices. The data speaks on its own. Only 0.67 hours of MPTR in one of the sites we have achieved. This is what is the asset management quality we are trying to deploy in both in surface as well as in the yeah, it's a recent data. If you look at the trend, probably I don't know if it's visible or not. It is a recent data fetched from our CMMS. And similarly at the bottom quadrant, if you look at it, you can also see how many preventive maintenance are scheduled in upcoming months, and what is the resource planning is quite easy by looking at what is the preventive maintenance schedule. And just look at the asset performance. Like there are multiple VT pumps and horizontal pumps and mapped onto our CMMS, where the vibration maximum threshold is 5 to 7. But what you look at is maximum clock 5.9, not more than that. So this is the quality of the asset management you are talking about. We propose to implement similar asset management for both surface water and tubular scheme also. So this is how you can see on the real-time basis what is the vibration happening. You can see there is one VT pump, because for surface water, for us, out of the operation is VT pump. Look at the vibration. So though our threshold is 7, and actually the VT pump in one of our site is running at only at 1.58 mm per second. Similarly, if you look at the efficiency, the average efficiency, though there is a slight variation based on various conditions. You can also look at the equipment efficiency, which is on an average 77.34, one of the VT pump what is performing at site. And similarly, we also have what is the flow it is discharging, because without all these the crucial parameters, the operation becomes highly unpredictable. You will be able to look at the flow and look at the temperature of what the pump is operating. Can you go to next slide, please? So this is by and large what we are saying is the asset management. We'll be able to the moment it comes to the O&M phase, we'll have a standard recipe available. We'll immediately put in place, and you'll get the immediate benefit. That's what you're talking about. And just to take it through in detail, maybe this on just sampling basis we have shown. There are a few check sheets we have in place. You know, L&T is an IMS certified company, and we are selling the check sheets for mechanical, electrical, instrumentation, everything. Just for sample we have shown. It is voluminous, which we will not be able to show it. Just for sample we have shown it. All those will be implemented. Again, it's connected to CMS where you will get no expectation whatever you are talking about. I can just these are again for electrical. These for few PLC panel, UPS and transformers. I'm not just going through the activities because these on just real-time one where how we measure the vibration and the temperature and the sound what we measure, and it is connected to the CMS. Yeah, this is another benchmarking initiative we have done in O&M. We do a thermal imaging of the assets. General temperature being monitored, but we do a thermal imaging where the temperature profile we know. By that we get to understand what is the hot spot and how we can mitigate the strain. These are the various benefits as we explained before, the various benefits. When it comes to quality,
water quality, there is no compromise. So this is as specified in the tender document as a general guideline on what should be the water quality. We have an in-house lab which is doing the analytical part of it. So we have a fully equipped lab in all the sites wherever it's required in the surface water supply scheme. In the other schemes, which is tube well schemes, you technically have to maintain the FRC, and so we don't have a lab as such everywhere. But this FRC is the main criteria. So if you have an FRC, and typically as someone was commenting earlier, your groundwater is supposed to be filtered water. That is why groundwater needs less treatment. It is after rain, the seepage takes it down. It filters it and takes it to the bottom strata, which is called as an aquifer. Now from there, when you extract, unless there is a contamination from outside, the water is supposed to be clean. So you only need to chlorinate. That is the premise of your tube well scheme in UP. And you need less treatment in that. You only need to disinfect. Disinfection is not compromising. So we have online monitoring system for disinfection in the UP scheme, amperometric system, which actually does an online monitoring, and based on that, the information is in real time, and the frequency information can be programmed. We ourselves have prepared a laboratory manual when we started the O&M activities, which is actually part of the training material which we circulate throughout the chemists during the training program. And this is kept at every site to ensure that all the... Okay, now I should say that this is all taken from the standardized modules, like from the IS codes and all those things. Or we have the APA which we follow. So all these systems from there we have taken. So we have not done anything wonder, but it is a handy document which is available at every site. Now, if you ask APA, I am sure most of them will not be able to get hold of it, or even if you search on the internet, it will not be downloadable. So this is one method which we have ensured that the people can get things handy. And safety, I don't have to brag about safety. There is a lot of things which actually differentiates us in terms of safety from many of our competitors. So any incident which happens on a very serious note, there is a liability for the project manager, and there is a possibility that he may end up losing his job in L&D. So we have a lot of problems with safety when it comes to, so there's an entire safety department which has very highly qualified people, and they are the policemen in the entire scheme. And including me, we are fearful, so we try to appease them by ensuring that we don't go at the loggerheads with them. So we do whatever they tell us to do. And that is how, so we have a lot of safety drills. We have response plans, which is all standardized documents. So we also impart chlorine safety, which is one of the most crucial things in water and wastewater in plants. Chlorine handling is one of the critical issues. Recently also I read somewhere that because of chlorine leak, there were 3 deaths. So we organize the training through the supplier, the manufacturer. And and centralized control center, which we have at Chennai, a glimpse of that. So some of the features of CRM, centralized remote monitoring center. We have the trend analysis, we have customized dashboards and reports, which is already explained to you. Please continue. Yes. Here I think you can skip because it's already talked. So this is last few slides. We have an audit program within our O&M wherein we do a water audit and we have an energy audit. So I'm not getting into the length and breadth of water audit, but this ensures that our leakages are maintained to the minimum. This is done in most of our projects, and there are, as someone was touching upon, flow meters are the basis of this, and the supply is also checked. This is done to reduce water loss, improve efficiency, save money, and has a better customer satisfaction. Energy audit we do so that we have in some of the Gujarat projects very stringent losses permitted. That is, every efficiency has to be very high. So we do energy audit in most of the critical projects where high power consumptions are there. Yeah, please. The savings. Network maintenance, I told you, the separate team. So not going to touch on this. We use some of the equipment like a listening stick or a ground penetrating microphone for identifying the leaks. This is how we have ensured that in the D2A project of Bangalore, D2B project of Bangalore, we have achieved very high NRW reduction. In some areas up to 4%, on an average 16%. This is how we have achieved in NRW reduction. Plant machinery, this everyone knows. And complaint redressal, this one last slide. So from the time the complaint comes, how is it answered? So this is a general flow diagram of that, wherein we register the complaint, there's an escalation mechanism, and also there is methods for the public to come and raise their grievances. So I think I have short the time, so I'm taking this opportunity to again thank once and all of you to give us this wonderful opportunity to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Your presentation was engaging and your transition was seamless. Thank you so much. Moving forward to the next step, I would like to call NCC Limited for presentation on O&M by contractor. A big round of applause, please.
On behalf of NCC Limited, on behalf of NCC Rawal and my colleague, we will go through the brief presentation about the O&M activity. Most of the slides are already covered, so we will quickly go through. So activity here is objective. So O&M is the satisfactory running of the infrastructure created from the supply scheme for the entire period of its life, with maximum utilization. Effective and efficient implementation of professional systematic approach. Next. So the schematic.
अपना परिचय एक बार दे दीजिएगा एनसीसी से. आप बहुत पीछे हैं. If you want to come here, you can come here also.
Good afternoon, sir. I think I'm audible. So, on behalf of NCC, myself Ashish Rawal and my colleague Ritesh will present a few slides about the presentation of the operation and maintenance. So, next slide, please. Our surface water scheme mainly is intake well or either from the canal. We are lifting raw waters, and we are pumping it through the raw water piping to the water treatment plants, and through the water treatment plant, clear water is getting pumped to the various pump houses, and through the OSTs and the distribution network. So village FSTC will provide complete water to the up to the FSTC of the tap. Next, the operation and maintenance. The major component that we cover is the sources. It's intake well, CWRs, ESRs, operation and transmission lines, its distribution network, and conveyance system. And all electromechanical component that we cover, that is operation of the motors, pumps, sluice valves, pumps, air valves, zero velocity valves, surge system, etc. Next. Now coming to the basic requirement. Training of the operator, engineers, and O&M staff also cover here. Then training and capacity building of the O&M team. Readiness, availability of the spares, complete spares, etc. We want to keep in at least 2 months stock there. So we can do the efficient O&M of the plant. Energy audit and water audit also required for that. Next please. Operating of the water supply sink. As already mentioned that the training of the staff, if training is good, then we can efficiently handle the complete O&M. Public complaint and redressal system of the O&M. Here presently we are collecting sir manually through the Gram Panchayat and we are collecting the slips. We are handling that through the local Panchayat. When the complaint comes, it comes to our engineer. We block-wise we distribute all these complaints, and whatever suppose water is not coming to tap or some distribution lines or damage or something, we handle through it, and we close that and we give report to the Gram Panchayat and executive engineer there. Close that. And preventive maintenance and corrective maintenance. That already mentioned that when it is a corrective maintenance, it is time consuming, it takes money and time both also. When is the preventive and corrective? Next slide, please. Now is a graphical presentation of the corrective, preventive, and predictive. You can see that when there is a breakdown system, when the time and cost both are very high, and when we adopt the preventive and predictive system, this reduces the breakdown period, so we can efficiently provide water to the villages and up to the tap. Next. Now coming to the water treatment plant, raw water quality testing is there. So when the water comes to the water treatment plant, its quality is analyzed. We check its turbidity there, we check chloride content there. And coming to the coagulant and optimized dose, collecting this data we can decide what kind of LM dosing is required in the monsoon, and this LM dosing is required when it is more. Based on the lab test in online analyzing, we can decide this LM dosing there. Then the flash mixers, various components of the water treatment plant. Flash mixers are there, clarificators are there. Maintenance of these equipments, verification of the flow rates that is in the filter bed. On that basis, we can decide whether the backwash of the filter bed is required or not. Daily monitoring is there. If there is SCADA in our system, SCADA is already there. So all this analysis is done on online monitoring. Next please. So in O&M the pipe, valves and storage reservoirs. In pipes, that is the mapping is there. Complete survey is conducted as with drawings are prepared for this. So we know what are our raw water rising vents are there, what are our clear water rising vents are there, distribution network, and every tap is covered there. Valves, checks, and leakage, if any valve or leakages are there. Next. In the preventive maintenance of the service water reservoir, that is elevated tanks. If any floating material or something is there, that we can quarterly remove. Almost tanks are closed, so chances of these are very, but quarterly we inspect it and we remove any foreign particle, this unwanted material, it's something come there. Then this inspection of this tank also yearly on yearly basis is done, and the procedure is there. Is 50 grams of chlorine solution that is added, and 24 hours it is put in there, and it is cleaned with the brush and everything. Yearly maintenance plan of this OHR tanks are there. Then maintenance parameter of the transmission lines and rising mains, that is our pipelines mainly. Regular verification on monthly basis, physical and mechanical. Regular flushing and cleaning of the disinfection of the water rising mains. Service valves, verification of the valve chambers, repair of the pipe, flushing lines. In cement mortar, that is a DI pipe, that inspection is also carried out. Now, keeping the record of this maintenance in pump operation, when we start, when we stop the pumps, based on that, is online data also collected there. Voltage on the three-phase, that is online monitoring. Current, frequency, reading, bearing monitoring, that is also important for predictive type of maintenance. What level also. Next, please. The basic pump operation. That these are checks there. That pump tire running is to be avoided. Pump should be operated at its best efficiency point. Current is to be below the rated for the long life of the motor. Then control and delivery of the valve during pipeline. That water hammer is to be avoided. Pump is to be in HSC pump and BD pump. We'll continue. Then vibration monitoring systems are also there. Bypass valve, whatever is there, NRB, that is to be in closed mode when it is on normal operation. Frequent starting and stop of the pump is to be avoided. That is hot start and cold start of the pump and motor drive. A monthly and quarterly maintenance, that is the cleaning of the pump and motor accessories, checking the coupling and its bushes, stuffing box, glands. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah. These are the monthly and quarterly maintenance and 6-month maintenance plan also there. It's all electromechanical equipment, how they are to be checked for preventive maintenance. 6-month plan is also there. Lubricating the pumps at regular interval, replenishing the fresh oil, tightening the foundation bolt. Because of vibration on this pump, foundation bolt get loosened also after 6 months. So frequent tightening and monitoring is required. Next, please. And coming to the yearly maintenance, clean and flushing of the bearing with the kerosene and flawless develop the corrosion. Immediately after cleaning, the bearing should be coated with the oil. These are the detailed checks that we require yearly also. Next, please. Now going to the individual component wise, that is, this is a troubleshooting when suppose pump motor failed to start. These are the probable causes and these are the remedies. Example, I will take it. Pump fuse is blown, open, replace it. Motor is starting problem, replace it. You can go through it. And this manual, everything will be available at our pump house also. So immediately operator can take action at his level. Next, please. These are other problems and its remedies. Next. Now maintenance of the valve. Foot valves, Lewis valve, reflux valve, butterfly valve. All these mechanical components require frequent maintenance also for trouble-free operation of the complete plant. Next. Next, please. Maintenance of actuator. Quarterly maintenance for actuator also required there. Annual inspection and maintenance.
Next. Now coming to the electrical component system, where starter, breakers and panels are there. Regular cleaning of the starters and breakers is required. Clean the internal component, blow the dust with blower, tighten the terminals, check all connection as per the circuit diagram. Servicing of all component, cleaning it. LT panel, HT panel, both. The daily, monthly and quarterly checks are there for trouble-free operation of the pump houses. We have substations also there. The care also required to be taken for substation also. There is daily observation, monthly observation and quarterly observation of them. Next please. Schedule of corrective and breakdown maintenance. Arrangement to ensure the water supply is affected in affected village. In that case, we can bypass, if suppose tank has some problem or something, in that case, we can bypass the tank and we can directly pump water through the bypass valve to the villages. In worst case, we can go for the tankers of water supply also. Urgent repairs. Re-establishment of the services. Repair to be carried out. Schedule and corrective maintenance. We have all utility vans also available. Presently we are providing this also. So at every villages, every block, we are providing this team also. Team is going with utility van with all equipment, operator, train, fitter and electricians also. So wherever there is a breakdown or something, they immediately attend it. These vehicles are already available at site also. Next please. Now, about the staff organization, as per the contract requirement, this is the minimum requirement of the O&M staff requirement. The project manager, staff, maintenance engineer, chemist, operator, helper, electrician, watchman, lineman, fitter. Next, these are the detail of the manpower. At intake well, we have operator, watchman, lineman there, fitters there. At water treatment plant, including all these personals, we have chemists there, technicians there, and a similar setup will be available at the CWRs also, and OST, that is elevated tanks also. Next please. This is the water supply chart, means roasting of the, once the tanks are filled, village wise and block wise, we supply water to the different villages and blocks, mohallas, like that. This is the one panchayat. We have considered example from 8 to 9 we'll supply to one part of the village. In next, after filling the tank, we'll supply 1 hour or 2 hours to the next villages also.
How many panchayats have prepared this roster?
So roster sir, in Mirzapur sir, roster we are morning and evening both we are providing.
In Mirzapur for the entire schemes?
Entire schemes we have Mahadev sir and Audi projects.
For the entire schemes you have prepared this roster, you are implementing it?
Yes sir, we are implementing it.
In Mirzapur?
In Mirzapur sir.
And
Yes.
other districts, phase 2?
Phase 2, one is Jhansi sir, phase 2. We have Jhansi.
Jhansi
Phase 2.
Phase 2 after Lखनऊ, priority.
Right.
Tubewell schemes.
Tubewell schemes, sir. Mainly I will talk about the surface schemes, sir. Tubewell scheme also there. In Amlikor, we have some 31 tubewell schemes there. Right.
Have you started?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Sir, roster start.
Yeah.
यहाँ गए थे सर. मैडम आई थी आपकी नहीं दे सकते और रेस्टोरेंट दे रहे हैं. टोटल पर भी हम लोगों ने लेना शुरू कर दिया. कितने जगहों पर रोस्टर करते हैं.
Yes, sir. And these are the next please. Next slide. These are the equipment that is required for the operation and maintenance. There is mobile van, JCBs.
मिर्जापुर में SCADA काम कर रहा है?
मिर्जापुर में SCADA चालू हो रहा है सर वहाँ पे. लोकल में चालू हो गया सर. To local.
पब्लिक डोमेन में कब डालता है?
हाँ सर.
पब्लिक डोमेन में कब?
पब्लिक डोमेन में सर अभी एक हफ्ते में सर दे देगा. अभी टावर इंस्टॉलेशन हो रहा है वहाँ पे सर. Yes sir. These are routine. Next please.
SOP होगा, SOP के पार्ट में.
Yes. Next please.
There is alum and lime stock is required. Minimum we are keeping of the 2 months stock there, sir. There is chlorine, it's lime, it's alum. These charts are available at the lab also. Means what kind of, as per the NTU you need, they can dose. Next, please. This is a lab setup, sir. Already at OB plant.
SCADA में क्या पैरामीटर दे रहे हैं?
सर SCADA में एक आगे लेंगे. नेक्स्ट लास्ट साइड, सेकंड लास्ट स्लाइड. SCADA में पेज नंबर 49. यस सर. इन SCADA एक्चुअली फ्रॉम ये सर हम लोग वहां से वाटर के टैंक के लेवल ले रहे हैं वहां पे. देन वी आर कंसिडरिंग डिस्चार्ज ऑल्सो सर. मीन्स कौन से विलेज में कौन सा पानी जा रहा है, कितने फ्लो से जा रहा है, दैट वी आर कलेक्टिंग दैट. मेनली द वाटर लेवल वी आर टेकिंग.
डिस्चार्ज विलेज लेवल पे है या कनेक्शन?
नो सर, टैंक लेवल पे है सर.
टैंक लेवल.
यस सर.
एंड यूजर के पास कितना डिस्चार्ज आ रहा है उसका कुछ है?
सर अभी सर टैंक लेवल पे कंसीडर किया गया है. रिक्वायर्ड वी पुट एट द
एंड यूजर सब जाता भी नहीं जाता, क्या गारंटी कैसे?
सर मॉनिटरिंग जैसे हम लोग टैंक से ओपन करते हैं सर, हमारे जो वालमैन है वो पूरे लाइंस में जाते हैं. टेल एंड पे नहीं सर, टेल एंड पे डायरेक्ट SCADA तो नहीं है सर वहाँ पे. अब तो ये सर लेवल सर टैंक लेवल पे है. IoT मीन्स ऑल सेल्स डाटा विल कम टू द मास्टर कंट्रोल सेंटर. टैंक के लेवल से आएंगे सर. कंपाउंड का
कैसे पता चलेगा कि वहाँ तक पानी क्या कितना फ्लो कितना देगा और उसकी क्वालिटी क्या है?
नहीं सर, ऑन प्रेशर वेजिटेबल क्लोरीन. यस सर, और ईच एंड एवरी जो हमारे कंपाउंड है सर वहाँ पे सर फ्लो मीटर्स लगे. यस सर.
दैट्स इशू सर.
इन लीडर के पास ये तो नहीं जा रही वो एप्लीकेशन नहीं ऑटोमेशन सर. और दूसरा वहाँ की मीटरिंग नहीं होती वहाँ पर कितना लास्ट
5 जगह तो देनी चाहिए ना. पहले IoT जो बिजली है तो होना चाहिए, अदरवाइज प्रेशर
बिहार सर वाटर अभी
प्रेशर
टैंक सर प्रेशर
वो देवर से ही करते हैं
वहाँ पर
सर्विस
हमने कुछ किया. हाँ कुछ बता रहे थे.
दैट इज अप टू सर टैंक.
एक स्कीम में 5 हमारे टेल्स हैं.
आपकी इतनी लैब कितनी एस्टेब्लिश हो गई है
सर? लैब WTP में जितने भी हमारे 5 सर एस्टेब्लिश सर. झांसी के अंदर सर हमारे 5-4 लैब्स हैं.
मुझे किसी को भी एनएबीएल करने की
एनएबीएल प्रोसेस चल रहा है. एनएबीएल के वहाँ पे आए भी थे.
5 में कितने अप्लाई किया?
नहीं सर वहाँ पे 3 में अप्लाई किया. हमने 2 में अप्लाई कर दिया है.
LNT ने एनएबीएल अप्लाई किया.
LNT आपकी जो लैब्स बनाए हैं साइट पे उसका NABL अप्लाई किया है आपने किसी ने?
हाँ yes sir, we are processed for Katan laboratory sir. Actually, Katan we are doing it. So that's being the largest WTP. We are doing that.
Why not Shivar and Itani Baga?
It can be done sir. I'll just check with our project counterpart. Actually, we are starting with Katan. It can be horizontally deployed because the initial phase only takes time. Auditing, establishing the infrastructure and everything. Horizontal deployment becomes easy.
इसको जल्दी से जल्दी NABL एप्लीकेशंस के लिए अप्लाई करा दीजिए.
Sure sir, noted.
उसकी लॉजिस्टिक डिटेल मैंने जाएगी तो आप इसको कंट्रेक्चुअल एप्लीकेशन है, इसको बता रहे हैं कि हमारा खराब कर रहे हैं सर.
नहीं सर वो भी कर रहे हैं. ऑलरेडी सर विजिट हो गया सर NABL ऑफिसर्स के वहाँ पे. विल गेट दैट एक्रेडिटेशन ऑल्सो. SCADA में सर हम लोग ESR से सर टैंक से हम लोग लेवल्स ले रहे हैं, फ्लो मीटर्स ले रहे हैं, फ्लो के पैरामीटर्स ले रहे हैं. देन वाटर ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट से सर रॉ वाटर के टर्बिडिटी, देन इनफ्लो फिल्टर बेड के ऊपर से जो लॉसेस है वो पैरामीटर्स कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं. इट इज ऑटोमेटेड सिस्टम कंप्लीटली. देन कंप्लीट प्लांट इज ऑटोमेटेड देयर. So all these data will come to the master control center also, and then we can share with the SWSM portal also there. Remote operation also possible from WTP to all pump houses. Next slide please. Next slide. सर ये हमारा आर्किटेक्ट है. दिस इज द आर्किटेक्ट फॉर द SCADA सिस्टम देयर.
और ये क्या सैटेलाइट बेस्ड होगा कैसे?
नहीं सर, थ्रू इंटरनेट होगा सर, थ्रू इंटरनेट होगा. वी हैव वन आईपी स्टैटिक आईपी है एट WTP, और ये सर से भी सर टेलीमीटर के थ्रू आ रहे हैं सब डाटा. वी आर गेटिंग फ्लो ऑल्सो. So all data is getting collected at the master control center at the WTP.
ये वाली एलटी वाली शायद विषय की बात कर रहे हैं.
वो फिर कौन यहाँ पर नेटवर्क सर्विस.
Next. So this is our Augie treatment plant, 38 MLD. Full place in operation, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really engaging presentation and the transition were seamless. Thank you so much for your presentation. Yes. I would like to inform everyone that it's lunch time now. So have lunch, please. लंच का अरेंजमेंट नीचे लॉन में किया गया है, तो आप सभी से है कि आप लोग नीचे जाकर अपना लंच लें.
बात समझ में आई. लंच का प्रबंध नीचे है, हमें तो समझ में आया, हमको नहीं समझ आ पा रहा क्या नहीं समझ में आ रहा.